Hello, and happy Har to all of our friends, past, present, and future.
Har! Oh.
Well,
Har. Okay.
That's not what it means.
You should have said
It means hello.
Har means har.
har instead of hello.
You should have said
Yeah.
har.
Happy hello.
Take two! Har, and happy Friday to all of our friends,
Much
past,
better.
present, and future. Welcome to Legends Die Live, a D&D campaign brought to you by a group of professional friends and amateur content creators. I'm Mike D, and I'm the DM, which means I steer the ship, and these are my players, the people I ship, who sometimes turn out to be a shipwreck.
Oh, we
Yeah,
don't.
fair enough.
But I still ship them.
I love you too, bud.
We play every Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, so you can check us out live. Please join us. I'm sure Felix will keep you entertained if we don't. But if you can't check us out live, our VODs and highlights are available on YouTube a few days thereafter. I'm going to swing it over to my man Marco to get social.
We on social media, y'all. We on Twitter, on the internets, on the Facebooks, and we got a Discord. What? Join us and share memes and talk about the episode and talk about general D&D stuff that we all enjoy. Back to you, buddy. Oh, inviting the doobly-doo down below.
Mechanically speaking, we are playing Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. Stylistically, we stay pretty close to the rules, but we do bend, break, and homebrew them because we're a bunch of hags. So if that type of thing interests you, check out our cauldron in the doobly-doo down below. That's the homebrew document.
So you do whisper.
I do whisper as the DM. Shout out to Sirenscape for providing us with the music. Shout out to the DM Collective for helping me brew some of the encounters that you guys got going on tonight. Shout out to the
Playcasters!
Oh, okay.
for being the great promotional platform that they are. And say hi to our bard, Felix, who will be in the
Good
chat.
Oh,
Har.
and quick,
Har.
yeah, ha. And quick shout out to pinkbrush_arts for Felix's new headshot.
Oh, cool.
Oh, yeah. the new fancy
Which will be debuting in a matter of seconds.
minutes.
Okay. If you're watching us live, stick with us at the break because we're going to be giving away a Legends Die, which is an audience-voted D20 of inspiration. So you can vote on that at the break.
Yes.
I think that's everything.
Yes.
So shall we get into tonight's session of
Let's do it.
We shall.
Legends
Right.
Die Live?
Let's hit it.
And we're back. So, previously, after a grueling time in the Underdark, you return to the surface, promise to be provided with answers to your various questions. As you patiently awaited to be taken up into the tree of Vin'Tar, you mingled within the Shady Vale. During this time, you got to know some of the locals better, while also getting to know one another even better. Finally, after a bit of mingling and a bit of gambling, you were summoned upwards to the top of the tree, a place reserved for only the most important of Vin'Tar. However, before receiving your own answers, you were asked some questions of your own. Fortunately, you were able to satisfy most of their queries, and though you may not be full citizens of Vin'Tar, you are, for the moment, at least friends with some of those within Vin'Tar. And so now we find our characters within the tree, escorted by a series of guards. Each of you has 2 or 3 guards, except for Felix, who has 4 guards. If I remember correctly, Oni has already reunited with his former sponsor, Olivin.
Oni and Arquilla.
And the rest of you guys have just descended down the main trunk and are just kind of milling about this primary branch that juts out. The guards are just sort of waiting to follow your lead.
Oi, Riley.
Huh?
So before we made our escape, the matron of the Dark Spires did a really, really horrible thing to me, and I feel like
Did she touch you?
she did. And it was not pleasant. I did not enjoy it.
Are you sure? She's pretty.
So you're just not into the lady folk.
I meant to I mean, there was a dark woman like her that I was in love with a while ago, but not a different kind of dark. But she touched me in a not great way. And I feel like 30 years older, and it happened in like a second. And if I understand, you can maybe help me feel normal again.
I'm not touching you.
Look, nobody touched him. It was necrotic magic. Okay, I was there.
Oh, well, that's a much less exciting story.
Okay, yeah, I don't know the magic vernacular.
Okay, let me see. Is this something I can fix? Do I think I can fix it? I'll just cast Lesser Restoration. See what happens. And I take my staff. Oh no, they have my staff.
Oh, they did take your staff.
Can't do it.
You still
Wait,
have
no,
your
how did you magic before it?
All of it was fake.
Oh my god.
A magician.
I insight check that shit.
Go for it.
It was all Oni behind the curtain.
This is a insight 15.
Against what?
The
Deception?
deception.
I mean, I was just making a joke, but now I kind of want it.
I want to make a whole character
what?
based on this.
I was rolling the black one.
Yeah,
You
you
should
were.
do deception based on disadvantage. It should be a disadvantage. I saw her do magic.
You chose to do this. This is your decision.
She seems genuine, but it's hard to believe from your end.
I'm just kidding. Okay, let's go to... We can go to Venetia, but I don't think she likes me very much.
I'm perfectly charming myself. With a big ass scar across the face. Hideous scar.
What is
Do
it,
I
7?
remember Venetia's attitude toward me when I left?
Frustrated.
Oh yeah, that's right, they were all frustrated. Never mind, we can still go.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna follow her. I don't know where it is. I'm just gonna follow you.
Okay. So the two of you begin to descend even lower into the city of Vin'Tar. You take a moment to look down, and there's this dizzying sense of height as you guys are super high up in the tree. And as you look down again, you see the familiar kind of silvery spider webs that interlock some of the outstretched limbs to the main trunk of the tree. And then there's the golden rope that allows you to go from level to level. So you guys can go down, climb your way from one rope to the next, move to a next branch, and then climb your way down successively until you get to the main nook that Venetia had. And Venetia's nook was actually in the center of the tree, which you guys recognize as being a little more higher in status as compared to the nooks that were built into the actual limbs of the tree, which jut out. Okay. So you guys go in there, knock on the door.
Think we should hide?
We should hide? No. She already doesn't like you according to you. Maybe we shouldn't do that.
Okay. After a moment, a woman comes out with thin-rimmed spectacles that are framed with bits of like tree and bark that are holding the lens in place. And she's got her hair in kind of a loose bun upwards, and she's just wearing a green silk gown type of dress.
She's like a less extreme Katasha. We're back!
Alafe,
Alafe.
Riley, and was it Agar?
Aye.
It's a pleasure to see you.
Likewise.
We're heroes!
I heard
Oh, okay, you heard. Okay, good.
and assumed. Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We are indebted to you and your services.
Sweet.
Ooh.
Because we need a favor.
Well, let's pray the gods can answer your favor.
So, how you been?
Busy, but in a good way. How have you been? How was the Underdark?
Dark.
Horrible.
It wasn't that bad.
It was terrible.
There's a bunch of cool shit down there.
And a lot of not cool shit down there.
I'm getting very mixed messages right now.
I saw a lot of new things. And I almost got taken by a demon, so there's that.
Excuse me? What happened?
The normal thing where like this demon thinks you're really cool and then she's like, I want to keep you, and then you're like, no, bad.
And then at this point she like focuses her gaze on you and she starts like rubbing her arm and she's like, she's speaking in metaphor, right?
No. There was this big ass serpentine lady with like 6 arms and like a big snake tail, and she said she wanted to take her home.
Oh, that's troubling.
Yeah.
She was kind of cool.
She was not...
I mean, not like cool in like a demon way, like cool in like a 6-armed snake tail, like badass way, but the demon part, not cool.
Certainly an interesting sight.
Get the sense the word cool means something different to you Outlanders. But
Probably.
I like this pair up.
I'm glad she was cool. What can I do for you?
So...
A Gargadzi bad touch. And I don't have my staff to fix it anymore.
I feel like my life force has been cut, if that makes sense. There was this drow, dirty, filthy, stinking drow, and she touched me.
Her eyes go wide for a second.
Not like that. She like did magic shit to me.
Necrotic damage?
Oh, so you didn't bet a drow?
No.
Did you?
No.
Anyone?
No. Not this time, at least.
Me either.
That was a long pause. What?
I've been to the Underdark a few times before, but I don't think I've ever betted a drow. No.
I think you'd remember.
I think I'd remember too. No.
I heard stories.
So, basically, I guess I offended her, and she touched me, and I felt like I suddenly became much older, and my life force was cut,
And
or something.
She starts nodding her head in recognition. I understand.
You know what she did?
Come inside, please.
I
And
follow.
she leads you guys inside, closing the door. And inside there are these beads of like glowing light that provide the light source in here, because there's no windows in any of the nooks in nature. So there's just kind of these floating little beads that provide enough light, but it's not like overwhelming light. And she says, "Okay, have a seat right here." And she pats a stool.
All right.
And then she stands in front of you, kind of cups your cheeks with her arms, with her hands. And then she takes a moment and she starts muttering words. And as she mutters words, these golden glyphs appear in the air. And then with her gesture, she starts moving them, rotating them, resizing them. Some are smaller, some are larger. She starts altering them, moving them in place. And then she releases the spell. And as the spell releases, you feel this like vigor overcome you. And you just feel this energy grow within you. And that sense of necrotic withering is now a memory in the distance.
Nice.
Do I recognize what she did?
Yeah. It's greater restoration.
Oh. I can't do that yet.
I stand up. Oh, thank you so very much. I want to make a backflip to feel my vigor again.
A backflip?
Yeah.
All right, give
Let's
me
start
a
with this.
dexterity.
Yeah, let's.
Athletics or acrobatics.
I'll take athletics, thank you. Unnatural 20.
Agar backflips off the stool, his firm feet landing onto the ground.
My armor and weapons jiggling.
And
Oh.
she caught her off guard. She's like, whoa, hey, whoa.
Stretch. Oh my god, that is so much better. Thank you so very, very much. You have no idea how great this feels. Oh,
Holy shit.
I was not feeling very well.
I didn't think you could do that at your best.
You know, we're actually quite nimble.
Well, he's better than his best now.
I'd say so. Do I get my hit points back?
Yeah, you get everything back.
Yes! Oh my god, yes. Thank you.
Well,
I go to run to like grab her to hug her, but I'm like, I don't. Thank you.
she's like,
I was gonna like hug her, just like I was gonna like grab
She
her.
cringes
arm,
a little bit,
give her
like-
a hug, but like, thank you. I did not mean to. God damn it.
she makes eyes at Riley like, is he gonna crush me?
Thank you so very much. If there's anything I could ever do for you, please don't hesitate to ask. I'm with Narayan.
Just say a prayer to the gods. That's all.
I shall definitely do so. Which one's yours?
He likes all the like Z. Hold on, I know this.
Let's see if Riley remembers her teachings.
Oh, where's the shit?
Oh, what are you teaching her?
The way the cosmos works.
So there's
Sounds
this god
complicated.
Avita of beer. Just kidding. I don't know. Well, aqueous is definitely a water, and then ether. I don't know because it sounds like the earth, but Torrens of the earth, so I don't really know. And amortem, probably something about death.
That's a lot of gods.
That's 5.
I usually just stick to one.
That's fine. I'm sure whatever god you pray to would appreciate hearing your gratitude.
Was she impressed?
That you remembered 5 gods?
She rolled a 19. I don't know what that means.
I think it's a persuasion roll for Riley.
Yeah, but I don't
it's
know
a
what
big
her
deal for Riley.
19 means. Whether she's impressed or not impressed.
8. Persuasion.
I think she looks at you and she's like, better than I thought.
Me too.
Wait, do you give out tattoos as well?
No, that is not my style.
Oh, but you've heard of what she did.
I don't do it. They just appear.
Give out tattoos?
Aye.
This is knowledge to me.
Well, I died, and she brought me back with a tattoo.
Okay.
This is before.
And she
we
turns
met, you
around
know?
and she like grabs some like a kettle with water, grabs some leaves and starts crushing them into like a cup.
This is
Puts
great.
them and then starts like pouring them for you.
Oh, it smells delicious. Thank you.
Now, start from the beginning. You left the Shady Vale.
Oh no,
Oh, well, I
this we
didn't-
have to start like we left the Batons.
No, I died before we made it here. For the
Okay.
first time. Like, we were out on the road and like we came across this guy who held an axe that I think was really great but also cursed, and when I used it, I kind of lost my mind, and I attacked them. My group. I didn't really know what I was doing, but then the centaurs killed me, and then I was on a
Are
beach.
you sure it wasn't these shambling mounds? Because they were there too.
No,
And as you guys begin to just unfold and unload the story onto her, you can imagine the camera kind of pulling back and then focusing in on Sebastian and Felix, who are still standing at the top with their guards. 2 around you, 4 around the half-tief Felix.
I think I want to go, like, we had a suggestion in chat, like, last week, to halfling is a good middle ground.
To halfling?
To halfling?
Halfling is still descriptive of you. You are half halfling, half tiefling.
Yeah.
I also think I got a new guard. I have Bob, Tom, and Tim. Who's my 4th guard?
Jerry, wasn't it?
Jerry.
No,
that was my
no,
recommendation.
It was
John?
Tim, Tom, and Todd.
Tim, Tom, Todd.
Okay, I have Bob.
No,
Tim,
it was
Todd.
Jim, Tim, Tom, and John.
No, there were 3 T's and 1 J.
No, there was 2 T's.
All right, there are
and
4
1 J.
different Bobs.
None of these are elephant names.
There's Bob, Rob, Robbie, and
William.
Robert.
there's Robert, Rob, Robbie, and Bobby.
I want to develop complex relationships with each of them.
Or die trying.
And that's what we're gonna call it, folks.
That's gonna be really hard if you can't remember their names.
I
They
know.
can't remember their
Sorry.
names.
How many of them are you gonna fuck?
All of them.
Yeah, probably. Preferably.
Okay. So there are 4 guards, 2 of which are
timing.
male and 2 of which are female, but they're all wearing the same bark-like armor. So it's just like studded leather. They've got the vest and the bracers and everything, except everything's made of bark. And they got a couple bows and a couple of scimitars made of wood.
Okay.
And they're just kind of waiting at your behest,
Nice.
the 2 of you.
All right. Tim. What has become of Silt?
He was recently extirpated of his charges and allowed to go back to work.
Yay.
Oh, that's good. Did he particularly mention being pissed off at the guy who got him thrown in jail?
He was not happy.
I didn't think he would be.
I take it that's you.
Yeah, that's on me. To be fair, I did not think about how my actions might affect him or anyone else pretty much ever. That's kind of a lifelong issue. But let's go try to make amends, shall we?
That's-
Sebastian, do you mind keeping me alive if he comes after me?
Yeah, I don't think my sponsor wants to talk to me either, so I'll go with you.
So curious about that.
So you guys make your way down a few branches. You don't actually go as low as Riley and Agar went. Silt's nook is in a branch that's relatively high, and you get the sense that, Felix, you would actually know this. This is because it's nearest his work, which involves delicately pruning the insect population from the leaves and some of the smaller fruits that grow out on the edges of this giant tree. So you guys make your way down, climbing down the rope ladders, and you eventually make it over to his nook.
Rap my knuckles on the door.
Actually, give me a perception check.
Okay. Ooh, that's good.
Dexterity saving throw.
All right, 21.
21.
Oh, he's gonna shoot a thing at me.
As you go down to knock, you actually notice that he's like kind of out on the edges of the limb out where it extends with very little, with very few branches underneath. So he's like way out there, and his attention is currently fixated on a couple of, you can see large dragonfly-like creatures, and he does that familiar move where he summons the white ball of energy and flings it out there very delicately, and the little insect just like without charring or hitting the tree in any way.
By any chance, do I see the gloves laying around that let me cast that spell?
I mean, you would have to go inside his nook.
Yeah, I don't want to do
Steal
that.
from him first.
Smart.
I thought about a nice bonding moment where I could help him do his job.
I know.
Sure.
Well, let's go talk to him.
Yeah, this is not going to be great.
And at this point,
Okay.
he definitely notices that there are like 8 people standing around the door to his nook. So he kind of lines up one arm like this and gives a very short like he snipers one off in the distance. And then he turns around and he starts walking towards you guys. And most of the elves here are well-groomed, well-kept. They take time in how they present themselves. Silt does not. He's like got like a half beard going on, and his hair is just all over the place, and like his tunic isn't like half, it's like half tucked into his trousers or whatnot.
I'm gonna be honest, sorry, this is breaking immersion mildly. I have no mental representation of what an elf with a beard would look like.
Imagine Mike.
It's true. Yeah. Huh. I can see that.
I can actually kind of see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're welcome, legends. Continue.
Give him long ears.
Imagine me after like a night of drinking and I'm hungover and just like
Yeah.
bloodshot eyes, and
Plus the ears.
so he walks over. He sees Sebastian, sees the guards. He sees his eyes fixate on you, Felix,
Mm-hmm.
and you just see him mouth, "What the fuck?" And as he gets closer, he goes, "LFA."
LFA.
And the,
Hey, buddy.
the guards say LFA. And when he hears your voice,
Good to see you again.
you've got some bollocks showing your face around me.
Yeah, that's why I'm here.
You're even uglier than when you left.
I know, right?
Oh.
See, my fashion advice didn't take.
Yeah, it didn't. I don't follow fashion advice from someone that betrays their hospitality.
Yeah, that's kind of why I'm here. Wanted to say I suck. Sorry. I kind of forgot, and I guess didn't quite think about how my actions might also get you punished for me. That was a shitty thing to do. And I totally get it that like you probably just want me to fuck off here, never talk to you again. But I did want to ask if there's anything I can do to even begin to make it up to you. Like, I mean, you don't even have to talk to me after today. Just like, can I do something to put myself in a less shitty light? Just to make myself a bit less of a dick.
I didn't realize you were as stupid as you were selfish.
You were wrong.
It's a tough contest, but yeah. Like, I get it, you're pissed and you probably thought you'd never see me again. And if you just tell me to fuck off, like, I wouldn't hold it against you, I get that. But, you know, if there's a way that I could make some sort of, maybe not even amends, of just like, do something for you in some way, shape, or form. Just, you know,
He
I
walks
feel like an ass.
He walks up to you, and he's got those gloves on that he's wearing. And he bends down and he puts like one finger to your forehead, kind of like pressing it, and then he gets in real close. and you can feel kind of the heat of like the Eldritch Blast kind of like starting to like form. He goes, "Fuck off, you horny shit," and just kind of pushes your forehead away. And he just turns around.
Well deserved.
Yeah.
And accurate.
Yeah.
That's fair enough.
Mr. Silt?
Here we go.
His chin and ear turn. But he doesn't.
I'll speak in Elvish. Maybe that helps. Or maybe it makes it worse. I actually don't know. But either way, it's happening.
No, I love it. I was just talking with you.
I found a lab.
An inside joke.
Right. Look, I know you're very, very angry at my friend Felix here, and to be quite honest, I think you rightfully deserve to be angry with him. His actions obviously put your own livelihood in danger, but it actually put our lives in danger as well.
I did die, if that helps.
Who's an Elvish?
That's
Oh,
true.
Never mind.
I mean, he just randomly says that. That's fine. And I just want to say, maybe not in his defense, but perhaps just on all of our group's behalf, that we tried and accomplished the impossible to try to make amends for what we did to this great city, to these great people. And while I can't ask for you to give Felix a second chance, I would like for you to at least consider the sacrifice that he has paid. He lost more down there in the Underdark than anyone. And I think knowing that at least he's square with you would make a very big difference for him. And if it makes it any better, I think my actions have probably caused more harm to my own sponsor than even his to you. So I don't know if that's much consolation.
Ooh.
But anyways, thank you for your time. We'll get out of your hair.
Sebastian.
Right before you turn around to leave, he doesn't like fully turn around. He's still speaking kind of with his head half cocked. He says to you, "So it would make Felix feel better to have my acceptance, my understanding."
Is that in common or Elvish?
He's speaking in Elvish.
I know this sounds dramatic, but it might actually save his life. He's been through a lot, Silt.
It's interesting that you want me to consider his feelings when he didn't consider mine.
He considered no one's feelings but his own. But he's changed. I mean, not just physically, but mentally, and he's matured down there.
Give me a persuasion check.
Is it a good one?
It is 26.
Ooh.
Very nice.
He turns around and just says, this time in common, I said, "Fuck off." But as he says it, you can see that it doesn't have the same conviction that it did the first time, that the gears are turning in his head, but he's trying to hold up this gruff exterior.
Oh, bravado.
As good as you're gonna get.
Yeah. I will fuck off for the time being.
We fuck off together.
I will look up at Todd and just all right, let's
God damn
let's
it.
fuck off to a tailor. I need a new shirt.
Yeah, you do.
Very well. We will go see Narayan and his wife.
Oh yeah, I probably made him rich as shit selling all my concert t-shirts. He probably loves me.
Hey.
We were supposed to be in business together. He's probably been raking in the profits now.
Did she make all those?
We'll find out.
Did Narayan's wife make all those?
Yeah, they did.
Oh shit.
And then
And I
they
went
came...
to her. Go on, doesn't matter.
Are you sure?
Sorry, I don't even remember anybody remember. Like, I floated the idea because I rolled like a 38 for my performance,
Yeah.
and so like I wanted to make T-shirts of the event
Yeah.
and sell those. So I'm hoping that that turned into a successful business.
I went to Vin'Tar and all I got was this lousy shirt.
Yep.
Wasn't it
So-
halfling from the waist up?
That was the one he was
Oh,
wearing.
yeah. Well, she gave me 5 shirts, but that was before the concert. Then after the concert, when I rolled so well, I said like, "Hey, we should make T-shirts commemorating this event, like bands
Mass
do."
production.
Okay.
Yes, and then hopefully people would buy that in memory of the event. So she's probably collected all the profits from that. So she might like me.
Let's hope.
Hint, hint.
We'll find out in just a bit as the camera pulls out and then zooms back in on Oni,
Oh shit.
who's currently training with Oliven,
Yes.
his dwarf sponsor, who is as callous as he is stern.
I very much like
Tell me,
this.
what is Oliven having you do at the moment?
If I recall correctly, last time I was moving things for concrescence. So I imagine in a less festive content, still very much moving things. I pick things up and put things down, I'm sure.
A lot of times he like puts things in your arms, and then he's like, hold on. He throws something over your shoulder, kind of saddles you like a pack mule. All right, up the rope.
Oh,
And then he just starts climbing. Figure it out.
Tranquilo.
Oh man, I'm coming. And he's like, screw.
Shit. Okay. Put stuff down. Climb up. Shoulder. Back down. Shoulders. So on and so forth. Okay. Olavin. I need to do two things. First thing. Pick stuff up. Yeah. I need to figure out where I can go speak with Vanetta Fayfoot. She's very busy right now, but later I need to talk with her. And other thing, I need incense and herbs so that I can go back down to the Vale and bring back a friend of mine.
Well, I imagine Fanetta will come to you.
Okay.
She tends to spend most of her time at the top of the tree, and very few of us actually go up there.
Yes.
So I imagine when Fanetta is ready, she'll come to you.
Okay.
In terms of the herbs and what you're looking for, I imagine we can go see Katasha. She's likely to have what you need.
Yes, she is wizard as well.
We can get you what you need.
Yes. That is the most pressing matter at hand, I think, for me. But otherwise, how have you been?
Oh, you know. And he switches over to Gnomish at this
Delightful.
point. He's like, been fun.
Yeah, that is good. They did not treat you too unkindly, I hope, because of what my friend did. I'm very sorry about that again.
No, I think Silk got the worst of it.
That makes sense.
They had a discussion with all of us, but he clearly got the worst of it. They
Unfortunately.
only let him out of jail a few days ago. In fact, honestly, I think it's because the insect problem was getting out of hand, and he's really the one that takes care of that for right now.
Yes, it is important job.
So,
Yes. Fair enough. Well, I'm glad that you were not treated unkindly. Or at least not especially unkindly.
Glad your tail's in one piece.
Yes, it was dangerous down there. I am glad too.
As you guys are having this discussion, you've been like walking and talking, like you don't sit still. You just keep
Oh,
moving.
good.
Yeah.
Because I imagined that we were. And because, he's just kind of tossing things on me. I'm just like, yep, just standing here chatting. Heavy weights. That's cool, man.
And then he's like, oh shit, these were supposed to go down below. Oni, I'm going down.
How far down?
See how good my memory is.
Oh, boy. Okay.
And as you turn around, there's just like a big thick hand like in your stomach.
Mm.
It was a joke. We're here.
Oh, boy. Thank you. Good one.
He wraps on a nook, and then there's a door that opens. Ah, my packages! Come in, come in. You guys enter within and drop off your stuff. Okay. So, Agar and Riley.
So anyway, apparently she used a crystal, and then I go this, and I like show her the tattoo.
I didn't do that. Ciatrice did.
Interesting. Interesting. Her eyes kind of focus off in the distance.
It was a diamond.
Very well.
Oh, okay, we can go. We don't have to stay.
I think I should speak to Narayan. I haven't seen him really since I go back. And he's Miss Monster.
Very well. I will be here if you need me.
But thanks so much for the tea, and thank you for putting me back to normal. Again, if you need anything, please let me know.
Glad to see you invigorated and spry as a spring chicken.
Yeah, me too. I'm gonna head back. Do I remember where Narayan is? Like,
Yeah, you remember
yeah.
where he is.
I want to use my boots of spider climbing to circumvent whatever obstacles might be in the way.
I don't think your guards would like that, buddy.
That's a fair point. How many guards do I have?
So 4 total, 2 on you and 2 on
Okay.
Riley. Just keeping an eye.
What
at
are
a
you
distance.
gonna do?
2 guards were following me as well?
We all have to,
Yeah.
Okay.
There's kind of observing.
No help from the guards, I see. I say draconic.
To which he replies, lazy shits. Draconic.
So what are you gonna do? Okay.
Ferris.
Do I know my
wanted
guards'
to bring
names?
everyone with me.
What's that?
Oh.
Do I know my guards' names?
You can ask.
Wait.
And it's 1 male and 1 female guard. The male is shorter and the female is taller.
So, you're meant to be keeping an eye on me?
Why do I not like the sound in your voice?
Don't worry about it, mate. I'll be good. What's your name?
You look like you stay out of trouble, and his eyes like fixate on your scar. And then go to your pauldron
Yeah.
and the rest of your mismatched armor.
All my mismatched armor.
Seem like you stay out of trouble.
Bit of a collector, in a way. What's your name, friend? I'm sorry to do this to you, buddy.
Tom and Jerry.
Preek.
I already got Tom.
Oh, you're right.
There are gonna be 2 Toms.
And what about you, Miss
Eula.
Eula? Prick and Eula. Okay, Prick. Eula, let's do it.
Preek.
Aye, Prick. And I'm just gonna turn and like start walking down to Narayan's.
Okay. That's fair.
You made that choice, my dude.
I take full ownership of it. Okay. So you
Parents
and
must have not
Freak
liked you.
and Eula, Riley, are 2 anonymous guards.
What? Nice day.
Oh, you're staying?
Yeah.
Okay. Go down to see Narayan. And as you like go down, he's in the process of like going into his little nook. Then he kind of sees you coming and he stops. He lets you get down, come down the rope ladder, and sees you walking towards.
Alafay.
Alafay. Howdy there, stranger.
It's been a while.
And his hands are put in the sleeves, and he's got his bark made like fez hat, but it's like intricately designed.
What race is he again?
He's elf.
He's elf. Okay.
He's elf, but he's a dark-skinned elf.
Fair. Hopefully, things weren't too hard for you after we left.
Just a talking to.
Yeah. I've got more things for you that might be of interest.
Great, let's take a look.
Oh, fantastic.
And he opens the nook and leads you down.
Is Palto in here?
He's not in here at the moment.
Where's Palto?
Oh, he's off helping one of the other families.
Oh, working with... Oh.
God help me if he's hanging out with Vin'Tar, but I honestly don't know where he is at the moment.
Fair enough. Well, always good to get in a bit of trouble at his age, right?
Well... And he looks at your scar. Looks at your pauldron.
Well, this didn't happen until, like, much later. And this was... Well, that's a story for another time. Anyway, and I take out the horns and the hook, the Minotaur horns.
And at this point, the guards don't come in with you. They just kind of, like, hang back.
Okay.
And just give you guys your own space.
Cool.
Type deal.
Yeah. So I'm gonna take out the horn first, hook, and place that first and be like, right, so this was from this beaked creature, big one, size of a bear almost, and I took that, fought a lot of them.
Looks, examines it. We don't come across these too often, but they're not really all that special.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah, there were plenty of them, and they weren't too hard to kill. So I can imagine they were like super valuable.
Interesting.
Now, this, and I take out the Minotaur horns that I ripped off of the Minotaur skull. These are from a Minotaur. But, and I take out the Great Axe, this is what that Minotaur was using. I don't know if it's like special in any
His
way.
eyes go wide for a second, and he like takes the horns and the axe and puts them down, and he starts casting a spell. So he's summoning the golden glyphs to existence, and then moving them around and rotating and arranging them with his hands. And then the spell finishes, and he's like, "This is something else.
Oh.
This is extra planar, Agar."
The axe? All of it.
Both?
Well, after we killed this one, we did fight we went through this weird maze, got separated, and fought this big fuck-off Minotaur that could swim in rock. And when it died, and I lost two of my hand axes, it made a big whirlpool thing to the Onisa's abyss.
He starts pulling out a notebook and just like taking notes
Yeah.
of what you're saying.
And he also did this thing where he like controlled walls. He made walls come up from the ground and he moved them, and like it was a tough fight.
He starts sketching that in his notebook, like arrows.
I go
and
into
stuff.
all the details. I go into the walls and how the portals, like when we did damage, the doors would open. All these things.
Okay. He goes to like clasp you on the shoulder, and he like sees the horns and like switches hands, clasps you on the other
Yeah,
shoulder.
this one's just hide.
Yeah. He's like, I think this is a good first step, Agar. I did mention that we have a extended network throughout the continent.
I've been interested in that.
Well, should you continue to be interested, and should you be interested in perhaps joining us, becoming a member, we could make that work. I think this is evidence enough that you're at least on the right track.
I'd love to.
He stands up, goes over to a drawer, pulls out the drawer, puts it on, like picks up a false bottom. He comes over.
Did I notice the false bottom?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he gives you a small little pin.
A pin! I love it!
It's like, here. This is your first step into membership, maybe more, with well, let's just call it the network for now.
Sounds good. What is it?
And he gives you a little pin, and it's shaped like a polyhedron diamond, but each corner is has a line connecting it to every other corner.
Okay. All right, cool.
So it's just like a really complex geometrical pattern. It's got some symmetry.
And what should I do with this? Just wear it? People recognize?
Wear it somewhere visible, and when you go to a new town, go to either a tavern or the smithy. And should you be looking for work, just ask for Sally's Fire.
Sally's Fire.
If they know what it means, you'll be put in touch with the local members of the network.
Sounds great. You know, I did a lot of hunting and stuff for the Vin'Tar back in Baton. I don't know if you've heard of them, but...
Well, the network likes to stay in touch, and the more deeds you do for them, the higher your reputation will come as an outsider. And eventually, you'll cross a threshold where you will learn of our true name, and then should you continue being loyal and faithful and deserving, cross over into membership.
Sounds great. Speaking of, I take 100 gold that he sent and I put it on the table. I really hate that I was, trouble for you. I hope I didn't put you out so too much, and I don't feel like I maybe deserve this.
Are you sure?
I mean, I always like gold. I'm a dwarf, but some stereotypes are true. But, I mean, I just hope everything's okay with you. And
Tell you what, I'll take the gold, and should you make your way to Vin'Tar, I'll put in a good word with a few of my contacts, and I'll ask them to give you maybe priority in some of the contracts.
That would be fan-fucking-tastic. Thank you, mate.
So you can make a little more money and some reputation while you're at it.
Excellent. I do have 2 of the feathers that Finetta dropped when she turned into rock form. Oh wait, I have cave fishers, and I brought these for cooking up.
Let's go down to the Vale and do it.
Let's do it.
You guys begin to make your way down. And
I'm just gonna ignore the feathers.
gross.
Leave the feathers in.
Okay.
So gross.
You pull out these basically white lobster-like creatures.
It's a delicacy.
It's disgusting looking.
And they're mostly like empty husks at this point, but
I salted them.
yeah,
And that's why they're mostly empty.
Yeah.
his mouth is watering at the prospect of like
Crunching into shell.
yeah. pretty much. Hey man, people down here basically eat snot, oysters. So
Well, that's good.
It's gotta be good stuff. Cool. I am very happy with the pin of the network.
and you'll learn the true name
In time.
in time. Okay.
It's a pyramid scheme.
It really is.
Do you want to buy this vacuum?
Riley.
So then we met Loth.
Her hand is like shaking. I'm gonna put this down.
Have you seen her before? Or like, do you know what she looks like?
She like puts the back of her hand to your forehead.
My mom used to do that, and when I didn't want to go to school, and then she made me.
Regardless of what the result was.
Well, mother was a wise woman.
Yeah, so we met Lot, and that was weird. And then there was this elven family, and they were heretics, and I tell her about the symbol that I saw there and see if she recognizes it. Drow family, not elves. I mean, they are elves, you know what I mean.
Riley,
Yeah,
you said you met a god?
this. Sorry.
Yes.
Which is really lame because I've been trying to meet Theatrius forever, and I met Lol.
Swing and a miss.
Right? Met a god, wasn't the right god. Fucking hell.
That's just the thing.
What? Did I do something wrong?
There are legends of people meeting gods, but most of them are just folklore. We do what we do out of faith because we haven't actually seen God. They communicate indirectly, and we can feel the power in their presence. But that type of direct communication is virtually unheard of. There have been people that claim to have seen a god. There's never been one that shook hands with one, for instance.
I couldn't, it was too hot. Do you think she was fake?
Do you think what you saw was real?
Well, it was definitely real, but like, maybe it was just some crazy, like, cool person saying they're God and then they're not. That would actually make a lot of sense for what's going on. But anyway, she gave me a staff and it worked, so I think she was real. Is real.
I think many people are going to want to pick your brain about what happened.
But why?
Because you're describing something that's happened only a handful of times in history, if ever.
Yeah, but she sucks. But do you recognize that other religion from the other family and like why they wanted to go with that religion? Because I would imagine Loth is...
Do you remember the symbol?
Yes.
Give me a history check with advantage. Or history or religion, your choice, with advantage.
Ooh, sweet. Ooh, sweet. Okay. 18?
18. Yeah, so you remember both the symbol and the name. The name was Elistray. And the symbol was one of a dancing female silhouetted against a moon.
That's right. It sounded like Namaste. That's why I wanted to ask you because I thought like it might be related to, you know, stuff. You do stuff.
This was in the Underdark.
Yeah. Everyone was real pissed
In
about it.
the drow city of Rachnia.
Yeah. They were heretics, but like not because I think that's a better god. This.
That's weird.
What's it mean? Who is she?
Elistray is one of the minor deities that is supposed to be the embodiment of song, moonlight, and freedom.
Ooh, she sounds cool.
We killed the wrong people.
We did. We really did. Shit.
Again?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not uncommon for people up here to be, I wouldn't say worshippers of Elistray, but admirers, perhaps.
Here's the thing.
Did you relay all this information to the council? To Katasha? To all of them?
No.
They're going to want to know this.
Hypothetically.
We have very little knowledge about Rachnia and its denizens.
Do you want me to drop some more knowledge? Because they're all dead.
Fisk was on the good side.
Oh,
shit.
you're right.
Oh no.
That's important information.
Fuck.
No.
Fisk's Black
He's a
Oh no, you're right.
We
He's
killed
Black
the
Spire.
the
He's
Hollow
Black Spire.
Quill.
Or
That's
Black
true.
Spire, yeah. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sorry. My
Yeah, all the hollow quills are
You
dead,
found
even
it
the baby.
there, but
Maybe.
different family.
Yes.
Like, this is so complicated. So they're dead, but you have your information because they're dead. So, like, when?
Question mark?
We'll have to. I think Katasha will be the judge of that.
Uh-oh.
It's a lose-lose, really.
Sorry?
I don't know what the proper response is at the moment. Other than maybe you should have revealed this information a bit earlier.
There was a lot going on.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like it.
There's also a zombie beholder.
Oh, Dankus.
Danku.
Dankus the Cruel.
You know him? You're friends?
Wouldn't know. We know of him. Essentially, you can think of. We have a crude map of the Underdark, and on it are places not to go.
Oh, guess what? I have a big map.
Very interesting. And she pulls it over, slides this large tome, and begins flipping it over, looking at the complex set of squiggly lines and tunnels, and some of them are dashes, some of them are dots and dashes. And
Yeah. Sebastian found it and he was like, oh, what is this? And I was like, it's a map, duh.
I don't know if you knew this, but one of Katasha's secondary occupations is that of being a cartographer,
A what?
map maker.
Oh, why didn't you say that?
Yep.
I did.
Great. Okay, this has been very informative for both of us, I think.
I will let Katasha know, and I'm sure she will hunt you down.
In a good
Are you
way?
keeping the map, or do you want me to bring it to her?
It is yours. I'm sure she would love to see it.
I mean, you guys probably want to copy it or something.
I'm sure that's the case.
Okay, you can borrow it.
Thank you.
Welcome.
I love you guys.
She goes back to drinking her tea now that the lull thing has
Drink mine through a straw.
diminished in the background.
Okay, thanks for helping me and stuff.
Sure.
Can I sleep here?
Sure.
Cool.
That's kind of what I was expecting.
Awesome.
Well, shall we pick up where we left off with our devotion?
Now?
Do you need a breather?
Yes. No, I don't. That's fine.
So she sits down in a lotus position. All right, then, let's begin.
Are her eyes closed?
Yeah.
Just looking really hard at her and trying to figure out what's going on in your head.
Insight check.
Question mark?
20, unnatural.
You just tell by the measured breathing that she's doing that she's getting into a meditative state so that she can kind of commune and make her connection with the gods, with her faith.
She's so devoted. She's boring. Okay.
Do you sit down? Do you leave? Do you comply?
Yeah, I comply.
Okay.
Not well.
There's not much more for me to do than to wait. I'll start regaling Olivin of the tales of woe and all of the things that we did, and I'll really get into the mushroom family I met.
As you start getting deeper and deeper into the story, He opens up like a small cabinet and takes out like a small keg, essentially.
My
Some
dude.
dwarven shit right here.
Delightful.
And he starts pouring you some, which is gonna hit you pretty hard on an empty stomach.
Yes. You barely feed us.
Okay,
Dwarven
Aquila?
ale, too.
I drink it.
Give some to Arquillo. I go for it. Okay, so we were sitting while we were sleeping. No, that's not true. Felix and I were not asleep. Everyone else we thought was asleep, and then he asked me to help him with the shield spell, which I have used multiple times. And then I tried, and he used it, and then Azrael, terrible drow lady, threw a dagger at him, and he couldn't cast the spell fast enough, so he got stabbed. It was bad. And then the next day I met the mushroom family. They were delightful. I went over to them and they like started dancing a little bit, and then they had
The hell's going on? Hold on, Oni. And he opens the door, and outside the door is a large tiger.
Vanetta.
Ooh.
Yes, I remember this time. Because last time she was a tiger, and I did not know who it was. And then she turned into a person. I still didn't know who it was. But then hello.
She kind of like turns around, starts padding away, and then like looks back to see if you're following.
What is happening? Why did she come here to walk away?
That's very Oni.
Here. Drink this.
Okay.
Now go. Pushes you out.
Oh, I'm following her. I see. Okay, thank you.
Arquillo starts to go, I'm coming! And he grabs him by the tail.
Oh, well, okay.
Come here.
You have more work to do, Arquillo.
And he pulls out another keg. Try this one, buddy. This one's like a darker liquid.
Oh, God.
Yes!
Oh
Like the
boy.
puppy.
Dwarven stout for Aquila.
Love it. So I'll follow Fanetta.
Riley doesn't let me have the colored water.
The colored water.
I like the colored water.
It's good colored water.
We are bad people.
No, we're not. That is all of it.
Makes me feel great. All right, buddy. I'm sure you got some stories. Tell me. Well. Okay. So, like, we went to this place, and they went inside and killed a bunch of people, and I did an ambush where I attacked the hedges. But I was mostly hiding.
Oh, accurate.
And I ambushed them, and they said that we won because of me, and they were right.
It's true.
And they didn't leave me behind, so that was cool.
Oh, my heart!
Oh, Arquillo.
Hey, give me some more dark colored water.
I really just want a 2-hour stream of Arquillo just retelling all our events.
That's its own segment.
The Arquilla logs.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
that'll be stage 3 on our Patreon.
Arquilogs.
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
Whenever we get that set up.
right.
All right.
So now we go back to
Fanetta.
Oni.
Party
And
is so split.
Fanetta.
Yeah, we're super.
It's
super
fine.
split.
We're like, this is rest and relaxation, kids.
For now.
This is all business
Hear
for
this
me.
music?
Oni,
As far as the garden goes, is that a grill?
you understand that Fanetta is going to pull you aside and have a conversation with you. She pops out of tiger form. As she pads, she just kind of like
Oh boy.
morphs upwards.
Bush.
She's got the wavy orange hair with black streaks, and the dark black silk and satin with the vines that act as stitching.
La Fée.
I have some information for you.
Yes, please, all of it.
Just the two of us?
it would probably be good if the other people were here, just because, if I forget something, that way they can... You know what? I take out my notebook. I suppose this is fine, although maybe... Can you send a message to all of them to meet us here?
I
Or
can
would
send
you-
a message to one of them, but I don't feel like burning that many high-level spells.
Okay, could you tell Riley to come here? And if she can inform others to come here.
Yep.
Very well.
Thank you.
So she draws the glyphs in the air with her voice and then manipulates them with her hands, and you hear her voice. Yeah. Riley, it's Vanetta.
Meditating.
It's I'm having a council with Oni, and he wants you and your companions to come along. Meet us outside Olivins. And it ends.
Okay, Anisha, we gotta go. And I get up and go.
Just goes right back to it.
And then I send a message to Felix.
What do you say to Felix?
Felix! We're meeting with Oni and Fanetta. You have to tell Sebastian and Nagar.
Well done.
Okay.
At Olivins.
I hear that. I look up to Sebastian. I just don't think that I'm destined to get this new shit.
Maybe.
All right, we gotta go.
Wait.
They're waiting for us.
Who?
Apparently, we're gonna meet with Oni and everybody else. Guess Oni's gonna get some information.
Oh, okay.
All right. I will cast Sending to Agar.
Sending telephone.
Yeah.
Yes, Sending chain. I'll just go on.
By the
for,
end, we're meeting in the Vale with Tepin for an important message.
Yep.
I'll just do my full-on I'll do voicemail voice. Your presence is requested at the Olivan house.
I approve.
Is that literally what you say to me?
Yep.
Felix? I,
I'm not burning another spot.
that's literally all you say is my presence is requested.
Yep. Nice and ominous.
And you're standing near the platform.
I'm in the middle of a story, like
You're standing at the platform with your cave fishers, with Narian, in the middle of the story.
it's like so I just got a message in my head. I hate magic. That I have to go to Olivans to meet with Fanetta and the rest of the group.
Well, if you're a wise man, you won't keep Vanetta waiting.
Fair enough. Listen, take these, enjoy. When we meet up again,
Come back later.
hey, remind me to tell you about the mushrooms,
I will.
the psychic mushrooms. And I'm gonna take off. And I'm using my spider boots and climbing, just kind of like running up the tree.
You're getting lots of looks. You can see there's a couple guards that they notch their bow and they start to aim it towards you, and a couple of them aim towards you, and then their companions are putting a hand down to
As I'm
lower it.
as I'm 20 feet up the trunk, I just kind of oh shit. I start walking back down. Prick, Yula, let's go.
I already had it.
Freak. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
You did.
so happy about this.
The day that Freak requests a transfer.
Put me in the veil.
I'm gonna request a name change.
We gotta go to Fanetta's.
So,
To Olivins.
Olivins
after
to meet
about-
with Fanetta. Do I know Oliver? Who's Olivin?
you know he's Oni's sponsor.
Yeah.
Oh, dope.
You can ask around,
You've
and
all been,
eventually
at
you
least
climb your way
been
up the
Olivins?
rope ladders
Yeah.
to the appropriate branch, and you all convene to Oni, who's just chit chatting with Fanetta.
Delightful. So what else can you turn into?
Most things.
Interesting.
Dragon.
Maybe.
As I
It sells those wings.
Well, I was fortunate enough that I didn't have to use them.
I used the cunning action of shove.
It was a clever move.
As I approach, I want to like take her feathers out. Oh, you dropped these earlier. I don't know if you need them or what to do with them.
You can keep them.
Cool.
Just don't be weird about it.
Too late.
Of course not. Big smile at the scar.
Okay. So we are all here now, and it would be very
what's going on?
appreciated if you could share that information with me.
Very well.
Almost.
Let's go talk about what you were looking for.
Yes, please.
And
Oh, right.
at this point, she just turns and walks you guys outward away from the trunk. And you guys are getting to like where the branch gets skinnier. And you take one of the small side branches that juts out. And then you guys are moving towards like the edge of the tree. And as she moves towards the foliage where everything kind of gathers around the edges, they just begin to like naturally move out of the way for her. And then the branch ends and she steps out into like air. And as she steps out into air, a bunch of leaves like form like a bridge underneath. And she starts walking, and as she walks, the leaves continue to like shift and move, connect, forming a bridge.
Is that going to support my weight?
You'll be fine. These are big fuck off leaves. Like these are leaves the size of like horses and small
Oh,
shacks.
cool. Okay.
They're still leaves.
Yeah, right?
But they've got like layers and layers
Yeah.
of them, and the actual stem seems pretty hardy.
Okay. Slowly taking a step.
Same.
Okay, it seems like we're fine. And I'll jauntily walk.
You guys make your way out onto the leaves.
I'll hop up on a guard.
The canopy kind of opens up and as it opens up, all you just see is blue sky just ahead of you. And then leaves continue to move and jut outwards, forming like a platform. And you guys go out to that platform, and then the leaves close behind you, giving you guys this kind of private balcony where you can like go to the edge and look down, and it's just nothing but air below you. And you look out, and it's just like blue sky with the green of the horizon, and then you can see the southern sea. So it's like kind of blue on blue.
This is very beautiful, but also very scary. Well, I have Featherfall. We'll be fine.
So, you traveled quite the distance,
Yes.
went through quite the many trials for information about blights
Yes.
for Raglothia.
Yes.
I understand you read a portion of my book.
Yes. It said 4 kinds of blights. But that's all I got.
To my knowledge.
Yes. Which is more than I have. I've tried searching for information about this, but everyone who tries to study it gets sick, so they don't do it. And it's expanding.
So, in my time traveling the world, I came across many a different thing, and eventually I put the pieces together that there are at least 4 different kinds of blight. There might be more, I don't know. There is what you might call a natural blight.
Yes.
Poisoning of the land, chemicals, invasive species, salt, sulfur, things that just poison the dirt.
Yes.
There is what you might consider an arcane blight,
Yes.
magically created.
But then magic could undo it, like a dispel magic or something like this.
Correct. If you can find the glyphs associated with it, the magic can be dispelled or countered or erased in some fashion.
Mm-hmm.
You ever been to Ragdiza?
I don't believe I have.
The desert surrounding Ragdiza is actually you can think of it as an arcane blight.
Really? Okay, that is interesting. If I go there, perhaps I will have enough magic to undo it. Oh, but I would have to find the glyphs. I don't know where they are.
And considering the size and the scope of that, you have to find quite a few glyphs.
Fair.
Was I there for that? I know I went to Durango. I do remember a temple.
Then
That
yes.
was Ragdiza.
That was the Rajiza Desert.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you were there in a past life.
Yeah, I've been there. You're telling me that that's not normal.
No, I mean, no. Geographically speaking, it makes no sense for a desert to be there.
I never thought about that.
Okay.
Go on, sorry.
So there's a natural blight.
Yes.
There's an arcane blight.
Yes.
There's what you might call a spiritual blight,
Mm-hmm.
but you can also think of it or refer to it as a necrotic blight.
Okay.
This is usually due to the lingering of a soul that refuses to pass to the other side.
So like a haunted place.
Precisely, like a haunted house.
Okay.
There's like a stiff breeze that blows by.
How does one get rid of something like that?
The spiritual blight,
Yes.
in the simplest of cases, it involves burning the remains,
Okay.
severing the soul's connection to this plane.
Okay.
In the simplest of cases.
Well, fair.
And then there's a divine blight,
Divine.
one caused by the presence of a god or by the presence of worshippers of a god, specifically a god with entropic tendencies or values.
Okay, so if there are enough people who pray to a god of decay of some kind, then this might happen. Or if the god, I suppose, set foot here.
Precisely. Have you ever heard of the Deathwalkers?
I may have heard the name, but I don't know anything about them.
There is a woods near Vandor,
Okay,
along one of the rivers there. It's known as the Deathwalker Woods.
okay,
They're a tribe of necrotic druids
uh-huh.
that worship gods of entropy and decay. They're strange people, but they're not bad at heart.
Okay. Well, death is not necessarily evil, it is simply part of life.
It's not evil, it's misunderstood.
It is feared.
Precisely.
Yes.
Those are the 4 types of blight.
So how would one get rid of a divine blight? That one seems especially complicated.
There's no known cure for this. I suppose if you could convince the worshippers to stop worshipping, you might be able to
It seems unlikely.
reduce the influence of that god in that area.
Mm-hmm. Have you noticed if certain kinds of blights make different kinds of scars on the land? So the one in Raglothia is very dark. It is like black land and craggy with like I don't know how to explain it beyond that really. There is a place just north of the valley that belongs to the hobgoblins, where it looks like giants perhaps used to convene. It looks very similar to this.
Yes, you're referring to the Scar of the Concord.
Oh, okay. I did not know it had a name. Yes, that one.
Yeah, that was an area where giants from all across the continent would reconvene occasionally, keep each other informed, up to date, settle land disputes, things of the sort. And a long time ago, during one of their concords, during one of their meetings, they were ambushed by dragons.
Ambushed by dragons?
And the feud between dragon and giant runs so deep, and was such a mark of dishonor to attack them at that moment that it appears their souls have lingered on that land, tied to the bones that are there.
So most likely then, that appearance of broken ground is a spiritual blight.
In that case, yes, exactly.
Well, that is what it looks like in Draglothia, so that is probably the same. Oh shit.
That's a reasonable conclusion.
Must be a big spirit.
Yeah.
Well,
That's right. It was the what Concord?
Scar of the Concord.
Or,
Well, in Draglothia, I don't know exactly if that is where it happened. I would have to check. But it used to be ruled by a red dragon. And the dragon was killed by a group of people who disagreed with the way the dragon was in charge of things. So it is possible that that is the spirit of the dragon. Of course, I don't know necessarily which artifacts or bonds or anything like that would be the things to find to destroy. Not to mention that anybody who walks into this blighted area gets very, very sick. So very few people, if any, do at this point. And it is getting bigger. So
You say
if it's
people get sick when they enter?
yes.
This is something I haven't experienced. Now you're teaching me.
Oh shit. No, that is bad. Because if you have not, this is the only information I have, really. So if you're saying that you only know 4 types of blights, but possibly more, maybe this is different one. But still, this is more information that I've had ever.
You've made it your life's quest to cure this blight?
I am one of many.
Well, seems like the first step would be perhaps diagnosing it,
That is what I'm trying to do.
figuring
Yes.
out which kind it is, and that will guide you as to which steps you have to take.
Well, given the information you have provided me, thank you, by the way. If there is anything I can do for you, please let me know.
Wait, was there more?
Is there more?
I mean, those are the broad strokes that I have for you.
Okay. Where did you hear about this spiritual blight?
I mean,
The other 3 seem intuitive. Well, divine specifically because you know of the Deathwalkers. And so that is explanatory there. For the spiritual blight, well, I suppose you already know about the Scar of the Concord, so that explains that. Thank you. Yes, if there is anything I can do, please let me know.
I know the council is overjoyed to be brought the compass that will lead them to the root of the poisoning. But they're very conflicted right now.
Sure.
Because in order to use the compass, someone of significant abilities would have to leave here to go down there to power the compass, and we don't understand what that means.
Send Fisk,
Or
Why would we send you?
because Fisk is a, what is it, secret person for the Black Spires.
Tuesday knows that?
Yes, I
guys
accidentally
mentioned
shared
it.
that information, and Sebastian was like, shit. No?
But that would just mean that
He
Fisk could take control of whatever situation's down there and help
Well,
poison the
obviously
tree.
do not send him alone, I think.
We found a map. Like a huge map.
That is true.
I'm sure Katasha is looking forward to hearing about it and seeing it.
She grabs carts.
Yeah, she's our
What?
cartographer.
Oh, that is not someone who grabs cards. It's someone who makes maps.
I know.
That is not what... You said grabs cards. That is not the same.
Grabs.
Oh, sorry. Yes, she said this.
I also heard grabs.
Same.
I'm not alone now, Riley.
Well, I've offered my services to Oni. Are there any services I can offer to the rest of you?
Is there a formal apology in this culture? That you could just like give a traditional gift of something to be like, hey, sorry I was a dick.
Well, I can tell you what is valued the most.
Please.
Loyalty.
She actually cracks a
I'm
smile at this
What did you
point.
say?
Loyalty.
She says the way our culture works is elves leave at a point in the time in their life when they begin to their connection to the Feywild slips. So they go out journeying, looking for experiences, for sensations, for things, for memories, essentially. And they come back with memories and they share them with others. So in our culture, in our society, the things we value most are bits and pieces, exotic items from lands far away, lands that perhaps some of us haven't seen.
Okay, very useful.
So
Well, I appreciate that.
you're unlikely to find a present here for someone, but you may have one on you. Or you may not.
I think I do. Thank you. That's very helpful information.
Felix, the council asked you several times why you were transformed, and you cleverly evaded the question several times. I won't push you, but I have an open ear.
Well, I appreciate that. It's so funny how I'm so much more willing to talk to you because I'm not forced to. It's just, thank you. Look, this whole transformation thing really came out of nowhere. I kind of look to Oni.
I trust her with everything. She has given me so much at this point.
Well, I don't know if we kind of mentioned that. Kind of look over to the group nervously.
Vanetta, you need not only an open ear, but also an open mind for this story.
I think
What is the worst thing you've ever heard?
the worst thing?
Yes, the absolute
You
worst
can't
thing you've
just
ever
ask
heard.
somebody that.
He did.
I did just now.
You don't have to tell us.
That is true.
On what scale?
The absolute worst scale possible.
The largest scale one could imagine.
God level scale.
If you have heard anything like this.
I mean, now you're making me frightened.
Okay.
Me too.
It's a good thing. It's good to be frightened.
Why are you so creepy, Agar?
Fear
Mate,
keeps
you
one
go into
alive.
something, you need to understand exactly what's going to happen.
Also, fear is helpful. It keeps you alive a lot of the time.
Right.
You are not in any kind of trouble or danger.
That's what I meant.
You're fine.
No, yeah, I didn't mean it as a threat. I just meant that these are scary fucking things. And if you're not, I'd take you for a fool.
Well, now we have to tell her.
Yeah, Felix, just tell her.
Well, we met Loth. It was bad. So, it's a horrible thing. That is why I'm asking. It is, you have to be in the right mindset.
Yeah, that what he just so eloquently blurted out. That's kind of what I was holding back on. Yeah,
Thank
we
you.
kind of met.
No one calls me eloquent. Thank you, Felix.
You're very welcome, friend.
So, will my ear be treated to a story?
Well, that's kind of a big story in itself. Loth kind of came out and just kind of loomed over us in menacing ways, dripping hot magma everywhere. Real scary. And she actually touched me.
Bad touch.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, she
screamed a
made
lot.
contact. She touched my face. And it happened again later on. And actually that's the second time that she touched me. That's when I transformed. It was fucking horrible. All my flesh melted off, and I just felt these two immense pains just shoot out of my head, and then just this fucking whip my tail. This tail just sprung out of my ass, and I didn't know what to do with it. And now I'm still trying to figure it out. And I try to pick up a leaf with my tail, but don't succeed. My mind is probably just as fucked as yours. This is still. I've got a lot of questions, and unfortunately, I don't know if I have anybody who I can ask those questions to.
Well, Felix, are you a religious person?
Not particularly. I'm aware of some of the gods, but
Well, it might be time to start.
probably.
The gods are powerful forces in this world, and the more devotion you provide to them, the more their strength grows. But they are forces, they are not tangible. No one has ever been touched by a god.
That can't possibly be true.
No, it is not true. He was touched by a god twice.
Something doesn't add up.
Do you think Loth is fake god? Or lesser god, probably. She's in this plane.
Holy shit, I said that to Venetia earlier. I was like, what if she wasn't real?
We are on the same wavelength mentally.
Felix, I can understand why you would want to hide that information, but this is, if true, cosmologically shattering details that have been left out your tale.
Right. So my fear, not really that I want to leave it out, because honestly I'm probably gonna brag about it at some point. But when it comes to this group in particular, no, not you guys, everybody here in Vin'Tar.
Oh.
Loth's shitty in general, not a fan. But I feel like this group in particular are not a fan of Loth. And I would prefer not to have everyone in here hate me any more than they already do, which I feel like is already super, super hated. But I feel like revealing this truth would make it a lot worse. And I don't see me. I don't know if they're actually gonna try to kill me if they know it, but they probably wouldn't let me hang out up here anymore.
Do you mind if I tell one person?
Who's that one person?
It's a dwarf from Vin'Tar that spends a lot of time here.
Maybe could I be there with you? You trust him?
I do.
Are you really going to keep this a secret?
I want to see what Thaddeus has to say.
Adios. Does that sound familiar to anyone?
Can I insight check that?
Go for it.
Does it sound familiar?
Does that sound familiar to me?
I don't catch anything.
I thought it was
5.
going to be Fulton.
Okay.
And
For
who's
some
this
reason,
dwarf?
that name.
He's from Vin'Tar. He's with one of the more important families, but he spends a lot of time here, kind of picking the brain of anyone that enters Kaiki Matka, or...
Library. Living library.
Yeah,
I don't
it's a
understand.
bit crude to call it a library, but yeah.
Are we allowed to go in there? Can that be my favor?
The history keeper?
I'm afraid that even with what you've done, considering that the last outsider we let in there, Elzana, tried to light it on fire,
We did try that.
I suspect that's mostly off limits.
Ugh.
You can try and sweet talk your way in, but
You want to go into a library?
I like libraries.
Are the guards with us, by the way?
Yeah, I suppose
no,
you
they
don't.
left you in Fanetta's hands.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. I definitely would not have admitted that in front of guards.
We're just in the middle of the street. He's
Yeah.
You guys are on this like leaf platform that
Yeah, we're
juts out.
floating
Essentially.
just adjacent to the tree. It's mortifying, really. Okay. So, do you have any advice, by the way? I'm sorry, I don't mean to take away from the cosmic shatter that you experienced just now, but do you have any particular advice on how to deal with a spiritual blight that might be a little bit more complicated than a simple case?
I mean, I
need to study the history a lot more.
I would start with examining the bones, the remains.
I
That's where I
don't
would
think
start.
there are any remains, actually. I have a lot of studying to do. I'm going to dig up the history. I have met you now. I have 2 parchments of sending, so I will probably send something to you at some point to ask you more questions if you do not mind.
I will probably respond.
Thank you. She's so sweet. Sorry, Olavin gave me a lot of dwarven spirits. And no food.
Not surprised.
Where's Aquila?
With Olavin, you have more work to do.
The guard laughs.
Although I did give him a little bit of what I had. But just a little bit. He survived the Underdark with us.
I have a question.
Sure.
What happened to the giants?
Dragon attack.
After the dragon attack?
Oh,
So he died?
but that was
During?
just the leaders of the giants.
Right.
Oh, like all the giants?
So what happened?
I mean, there was a strategic war that took place where the various giants formed groups in, I was going to say small scale, but they're giants, so large scale militias that then hunted down the dragons, or at least attempted to. They got a few of them, but most of them died in the process, and it's kind of been an eternal feud over since time immemorial about who owns and runs the lands, who exactly are the stewards.
They should really get
The
into
owners.
it with the hobgoblins. Do you know any of the giants?
Right.
Any
Like,
of the giants?
are their societies still standing, or
She says, "Come here."
I hesitantly get up?
She
I
pulls
go
you.
in.
She pulls you to like the edge of it. It kind of creeps over a little bit, and you can see that part of your view of the sky is obstructed by the tree. Part of it isn't. She points to something in the sky, and there's that mass of an island
That we saw earlier?
that's floating up right above the entrance to the hobgoblin territory
Yes.
of the mountains. That right there is a floating civilization of storm giants.
They are the scariest giants.
They can be.
And
Okay.
how would one go about getting up there?
Sprout wings.
Oh, great. I hate
guess-
flying.
Or know someone that does.
Oh, we know you.
Wait, why do you want to go there?
Funsies?
Well, we have
Sure,
to go north.
funsies.
Well, we have to go north at some point,
Insight
yes.
check that.
Sure.
And the hobgoblins will probably try to kill us because they did
17.
not like that you said we found a lab,
Yeah, 11.
which is still very aggressive.
Definitely not just for funsies.
So, you know, giants, storm giants would be helpful. If they think that they only land, and we tell them the hobgoblins say they only land, and the giants are not anything to worry about.
Right, I think we can burn that bridge when we get there.
We
Yes.
can start another war.
Yes.
And the rest of the societies of the giants?
Scattered. Some are below ground, some are above ground, some are far north in the fangs of the earth, some are... I mean, you have your run-of-the-mill hill giant.
Yeah,
It's
but-
nomadic,
Yeah.
but depends what kind of giant you're looking for. A fire giant, a frost giant. You're not gonna find a frost giant hanging out in a volcano.
That's true.
Do they melt?
I think
Thanks.
it's just the environment.
Appreciate
it's not
that.
conducive to them.
I look back at the mountain, look out to the ocean, and I go take my seat.
She like looks at you all after like seeing Agar kind of chirp up at that information. It's like, I worry about that one.
As
He
do we.
survived this long.
No, he didn't.
Oh no, you're right, he died. He did die earlier, that's true. But he came back, so now he's still fine.
All the shit I've done, I died of fucking centaurs.
And the shambling mound.
Now I've heard a few times that you guys have passed from this life to the next.
She's the best.
I will warn you though that the more often that occurs, the harder it is for the soul to the tether between the soul and your vessel gets weaker and weaker each time it happens. And for most, it doesn't happen more than once.
Yeah,
So
I
I-
don't care to do it again.
Oh right, because they just die. That
Don't
makes sense.
have-
Yes.
I'm sure your clerical prowess is
It's the best.
the best, but don't be lured into a false sense of confidence.
No, certainly. Once was more than enough.
Playing hopscotch with the threshold of death is not recommended.
Oh,
I think Theatrus would let them come back again.
that is a great metaphor. I get that one. It's good imagery. It is terrible.
Thank you,
Wow.
Oni.
Yes.
He likes us.
Is there anything else I can do for the rest of you?
Can
Can
you
I
make
give you a
people a bug?
Ooh.
Can what?
Can you transform people into bugs?
Wait, why bugs?
If desired.
Okay, I might see you about that later.
Okay. I might not fulfill that request later.
I think you will.
Can I give
Her
you a
eyes
hug?
narrow.
I kind of want to insight check Riley.
Yeah, me too. I wanna.
A lot of inner
What are
inner
you
party
gonna
insight checks.
check? What's your
That was
goal?
very honest.
That is a statement that has a clear ulterior motive underlying it.
Hence
Yeah.
the why insight
Yeah,
check.
but you know that.
It's obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what to.
You're not gonna know what it is.
Yeah, nah.
Right.
That's
So
I'm
it's
gonna
kind of
hug
defeating
you.
the purpose. Understood.
Okay.
Yeah.
I take a step away from her.
What?
So I just start walking over with my arms kind of outstretched, very dragon smiley, with the claws kind of open.
Okay. She holds her hands into
Aw.
a hug.
Squeeze.
And then, as you hug her, you feel this shimmering beneath you, and she transforms into this giant bird, and she takes her wings and just kind of like.
This is so sweet.
That's awesome.
Oh, she's big. Sorry, this doesn't
She,
usually
like,
happen.
opens them up, for the rest of you.
I go in.
Oh, she's so maidenly.
And she just closes it.
You in there?
Yeah, why not? It's a once
Felix,
in
are
a
you in there?
lifetime hug.
Oh, of course I am.
He's in the middle.
So as you all
Yes.
are,
Ow!
all
I
okay,
randomly bite.
as you guys are in this feathered cocoon of Fanetta's embrace, we're gonna go to our break.
Sweet.
So if you're hanging out with us, give us a vote in the chat for who can get the D20.
Yeah.
Um,
Mike can get it. Any of us can get it.
yep.
Vote for Riley.
Vote for our Quill Elf. And we'll see you back here in about 10 minutes or so.
What?
See you soon. And we're back.
Hello, everyone.
So, Felix, why don't you give us an update with what's going on with the chat and who gets a die of legends?
We do have a roll off.
Hey.
I am disappointed to say that one of them is the DM. And DM will be rolling against Oni.
Thank you,
Oh.
anonymous voters.
Yeah. Much love, everyone. So, Felix, roll a d20 if you would.
I will.
Closest number to Felix, this is the tiebreaker.
I'll use my less lucky die.
He should tell us it first.
I rolled a 6. It's not my good die.
12.
18.
All right.
Well done, Oni. You get a d20 of inspiration.
Thank you, Legends.
I
Barely.
found out how those are all multiples of 6, so that's fun.
That is fun.
Yeah.
The devil who rolled a 6.
And then went
Nice.
down to Georgia.
Yep.
So,
Florida.
Run,
I should
boy,
have played a
run.
fiddle. Oh man.
too
That should have been my instrument.
You can still learn one.
That's what I want to learn in Arachne. That's what I want to learn in Vin'Tar.
Felix's new character arc, learning the fiddle. Wicked
Thank you.
solo with his tail.
Spasiba, Legends.
So, pulling it back in,
Spearing off.
Fanetta
Vodka.
unfurls her feathers, letting the daylight soak back into your skins, and drops her form.
That was nice.
I got the impression you all needed it.
Yes.
A little bit.
The Underdark is the worst.
Well,
Truly awful.
apparently one of us will be going back.
To the Underdark? Oh,
We have
because
to
the
cure the
compass is
poison.
probably going to point in that direction, isn't it?
Yes. So,
Do you think they will attack the tree if you leave?
that is the fear, that if one of us leaves, it'll leave the tree vulnerable. We fear that's their plan, but we don't know.
And when do you intend on going back down? Or going down, I should say.
We haven't, sooner the better. We're afraid that if we don't want the tree to become so corrupted that it gets to a point where it can't be healed anymore.
Point of no return.
No, we're not there yet, but I mean, this, it's like any form of medicine. I'm sure you would know.
Oh, totally.
The sooner you hit the sickness, the better your odds are.
True.
Fanetta, I promise this is a related question. What is going or has happened to Fisk?
I don't know. Last I heard, Javier, the head guard of Vin'Tar, went down with a few guards to interrogate him. That's all I know.
Does he know? Well, you wouldn't know this, I guess. I suppose if you were interested in knowing more about the likely plan of attack on Vin'Tar, or at least of the individual who would be sent down with the compass, at least formally Fisk trusted me. I don't know what he knows now, but perhaps I could try to gain information from him. think it over. You can, I guess, talk with the council.
You're free to speak with Fisk if Javier hasn't yet, although he left in the middle of the council, so I imagine that they've already crossed paths.
Right. My concern is I will no longer be allowed to speak with him, given he's likely incarcerated.
With Fisk?
Right. I don't think Javier will let us talk to prisoners anymore.
That is a wise assumption. Was there something particular you needed from Fisk?
I did ask a favor of him before I left. I asked for him to look for information about a woman who left on her gathering. I guess it'd be about 19 years ago.
How old are you?
I am 18. As far as I'm aware.
You're very young. So are you.
Yeah.
And Fisk had told me that somewhere in Vin'Tar there is a list of the people who have gone out on their gathering and sort of, I guess, where they intended to go, and that oftentimes these individuals will send back reports to some cataloger. And I'm interested in seeing that information. I'm looking for someone who used to live here. Dawn.
Go speak with Dawn.
D-O-N or A-W-N?
W-N, as in the rising sun.
I figured.
Is that why you're here?
Where might I find this person?
16th branch on the north side. Third nook farthest to the outside.
Okay.
That is an impressive memory.
Well, when you live here for hundreds of years,
Oh, yes, that makes sense.
you learn your way around.
Fair enough. So is that your mother, you think?
I don't know.
Okay.
But you're looking for your mum.
I'm looking for any of my family, to be honest.
So whose handkerchief was that?
I assume it was my mother's.
I have it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But when you say that, I'll pull it out and be like, oh, yeah, so I kind of found this on me after I died.
Right.
I assume you'd probably want that back.
Well, I don't know if you probably didn't hear me when I said it, but given the gravity of the situation, I was hoping that it might serve you well. It's sort of worked as a good luck charm for me. Not that you, I guess, need any more luck, it seems. But I was sincere when I offered it to you, and if you would like to hang on to it, friend, I think you might find use for it sometime.
It's very kind of you. For reference, do I remember anything that they all said? Or was I dead?
Well, you were dead.
He was pretending.
It was good at the time.
You heard their voice push through the veil between this plane and the other. And that was part of kind of what strengthened your soul enough to come back.
Okay, then in common I'll say, I guess I will hold on to it then. But Entheus can't, it'll never leave my side.
May it serve you well, friend.
Vanetta, is there someone here, probably Katasha, who could perhaps see the history of objects?
To what extent?
Perhaps finding out who the handkerchief belonged to. I suppose that would be 18 years ago?
Don't know if that's... I imagine It might depend on the strength of the handkerchief and the bond between the handkerchief and its owner.
Okay.
Well, why don't we go ask? Because I want to go there right now. After this.
To Katasha's?
Well, kind of.
Apparently, we have a lot to tell Katasha,
Yes.
and she might not be happy about some of it.
I wanted to go see Varys.
Varys. Oh yes, the magic show person
Yeah.
with all the
magic.
illusions.
I really need a new shirt. Dude.
I'll speak to Clara.
Well, this one's farther up the tree.
Clara's further down.
I think Felix will need to be there when his shirt is made.
Probably. I
Yeah.
think I'm a weird fit now.
Yeah.
Not super weird. You're about the same in the torso area.
Yeah, but I can't really get like an undershirt over these things anymore. So
Oh.
like everything's got to be pure button down, and like maybe I can have a button down undershirt. It's gonna be weird.
At this point, Finetta looks at you and be like, "You'd be more concerned about the fit of your pants."
Oh yes, the
Oh
tail.
right, yeah, yeah.
Oh, true.
Mm-hmm.
Had to have a whole.
Everything has a bum flap.
Super convenient for poops, but
It is very convenient,
not
honestly.
stylish.
Okay.
Well, I will be in touch.
Okay,
you
we're
want.
not going to fall, are we?
Would I do that to you?
I hope not.
No.
I start quickly moving back, just in case.
And as you move back, she waves her hand, and the leaves part, making an entrance back into the canopy, back into the center of the tree.
I want to like lag behind a little second.
Okay. So everyone else kind of files through.
Before
Okay.
I walk away.
I take a last glance at the floating mountain, and I just like adjust my belt and event there, and I head
Before
back
I
in.
leave, I say to her, I think you're my favorite person here. Thank you. And I walk away.
Mine too, by far. Like everyone else kind of hates me.
What about Rivandir?
Actually, yeah, I like him a lot. He asks a lot of questions, though.
I'll grab
I
him
like-
and put him on my shoulder as we start walking away.
I just want to look at Felix's butt to figure out how his pants work.
There's just a tear in his trousers where his tail comes out.
Okay.
Shot on through. Oh, I forgot. I meant to say this like 2 weeks ago. I wanted to make a change. I said that my tail came to a heart.
You said spade.
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 Oh, spade. Okay, that makes sense then.
So never mind, no
that's what I-
change.
Yes.
It's great.
So no corrections.
Yep.
Yes.
So Riley was lagging behind.
Just to look at Felix's butt.
Oh, that was it.
Check
Cool.
it out.
Yeah, I
Yep.
put Felix on my
So
shoulder.
you see this tiefling tail kind
Kind of
of
did that already.
I thought we were taking our
flicking awkwardly,
Oh, no,
uncontrollably on Oni's shoulder.
Yeah.
And you all make your way back into the tree, and the doorway shields.
You got this, bud. I believe in you.
Seals shut.
Boom.
Good job.
Perfect.
We knew what you meant.
It's the highlight.
The doorway closes
Hey.
with the leaves falling into place.
Time to go see Varys.
I mean, okay, Varys is will, yes, but Katasha.
Okay. Well, how about we do this? I'll take Felix to get fitted for new clothes.
You don't want to meet him?
Yeah, I think there's enough magic in my life right now.
But he's so cool.
Uh,
He smokes? You like pipes? He loves pipes. You guys are buddies.
Okay, let's go.
Is that how that works?
I don't know. I don't smoke a pipe.
Don't you know all people with pipes know each other?
So is everyone going to see Varys?
I am going to see
Katasha.
Dawn.
I am curious.
While I'm writing up on
Curious.
Oni, I want to be writing a letter. But I'm going to be writing a new request for a sponsor, so I can stick it to the board.
Yeah, he's gonna touch that.
Yeah, I'm going to label myself the hero/scourge of Vin'Tar.
You can just go ask Reven there first.
That's true.
Yeah, so I'll ask him. So I'll finish writing out the letter, but not post it until I talk to him later.
Okay. And then Oni, were you?
I mean, Katasha and Varys live in the same nook, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm just going to the same place with the intention of speaking to Katasha primarily.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're all going.
I'm
all
going to
but-
Dawn.
all but
You're
Sebastian.
breaking off. You're going to Dawn. Okay. And she gave you directions, so you split off. Okay, so you make your way down a few rope ladders and make your way towards the central trunk. And as you approach the central trunk,
There it is.
you see two suitcases out, like in front of the doorway to the nook of the center of the tree. And then after a moment, walking through the door,
Oh, fucking course.
just through the door is this hunched back, pale-skinned wizard with just puffs of smoke coming out of his obsidian dragon-like pipe. He comes down, he puts down 2 more bags of luggage, blows out his pipe, sees all you, turns around, goes back inside. Through the door, there's a moment you hear about. He comes back. As he comes back this side, the smoke precedes him out through the door. So there's this big puff of purple smoke, and this time coming out the other side, there's this really kind of old, withered version of Oni that comes out, puts more bags down, and then goes back inside.
What?
And then a few moments pass, and then a sickly version of Agar comes out with trunks, puts them down, and he goes back in.
There's so much luggage.
And then he comes out with a really tall version of Felix, horns and all, puts them down, goes back in,
So many spell slots.
and then he comes back out, and he looks like a. Like imagine Riley, but with like a curved spine. Just like Mr. Burns' hands carrying luggage. Puts them all down.
I'm really glad I came.
Hello.
Where are you going?
Home.
Where's home?
What do you?
I don't live here.
You're not.
I'm here on holiday.
You're not from here?
No, just like you.
That's a lot of
I
luggage
thought
for
you were
holiday.
from here.
I like to travel light.
Oh no, you're not from here. That's why you're staying with Natasha. But I'm not done learning.
Well, you know the basics. Practice. And, you know, like me. And then he goes back inside.
I walk through the door.
Okay.
It's the worst.
Then right as you're like nose like face to face with the door, like his nose and pipe kind of peek through. Excuse me. I have more luggage.
Can you help?
No. I'm a grown man. Move, please.
Okay. I move.
I thought we weren't supposed to smoke here. I thought there was no fire.
There's no fire. It's magical.
Now you like
Yeah.
magic, right?
I have no idea.
Be careful. And he offers you the pipe.
I take the pipe.
We have so many things to tell you.
And as you take it's like a obsidian dragon with the tail forming the stick end of the pipe. And you inhale, and as you inhale, it lights up with these arcane glyphs. And then your lungs fill with this very cool citrusy smoke.
Ooh.
And as you exhale, there's like this big puff of like heavy, thick purple smoke from Agar.
Vaping.
I make rings in a spiral.
He puts down his luggage.
That is so much luggage. How are you going to carry all of that?
I'm not.
Oh. What?
He like walks through it.
Oh fuck!
I feel.
There's nothing there.
Oh, they're illusions.
Why? Why?
Gotta keep people on their toes. Or claws.
Okay, can we come in?
I mean, you'll have to ask Katasha.
Wait, are you leaving like now?
Pretty much, yes.
Can you wait like 10 minutes? 10.
Why?
Because we're buddies.
I'm in a rush.
If you were in such a rush, then why are you bringing out fake suitcases? That takes time.
I had company.
Us?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So that was like a joke?
Sure.
Okay. I don't get it.
You're bending.
Oh, that is strong language.
You want to talk? Let's talk.
Inside.
With or without Katasha?
What do you want?
I don't know what you want to talk about.
Without.
Then either here or somewhere else, because she's inside.
Here's good. I sit on the suitcase.
You can't.
Fall through.
As she sits down, like the edges of the suitcase like stick out of her shoulders.
Just the head.
As entertaining as this is, I actually have to go, and I run out.
Goodbye.
I'm going to where Sebastian is.
Okay. Fair enough. Goodbye,
Hey,
dwarf man.
Hey, you selling any of that you smoking?
That was a guy.
How much you paying?
Depends on what it'll do.
It makes purple smoke.
Yes.
100 gold in front of him.
Do I have to make a Constitution save? Okay.
Heal. With a real quick flurry, there's an ethereal hand that appears over his, and then like begins to like detach from his hand and float towards your 100 gold. Then it goes back because no way it can hold 100 gold all at once. It can only hold 5 pounds.
Where are you from?
Morden, where are you from?
Oh, that is north.
Not Morden.
Very far north. I'm from Raglothia.
I was more specific. You were not. You are wiser than I am.
Sometimes.
Never tell someone where you're from. Unless you're in the mood to treat them to dinner unexpectedly.
What does... I don't understand.
It's an invitation to dinner.
Are you saying that we should have dinner with you?
No, but if people know where they are, they'll show up, and then you have to feed them.
Oh!
Where's Morden?
That is good. It is north. It is west of Raglothia. Other side of the Fangs of Endion.
Primarily gnomish.
You're not? I'm so confused.
I'm not a gnome.
No,
Oh, I
it's
know
not an
that
elf.
you're not
Clearly an
enough.
elf.
Well, you're also. Oh, I can't say that. What? I didn't do it. What? Do you have any advice before you leave? Besides the whole like hometown thing about dinner and.
That was good advice.
Yeah. Purple's good, but orange is better.
I swear he's really cool.
I mean, I'm sure he is, but he is in a rush to leave, so it's not like he's going to sit and entertain.
If you're ever in Morden, come by and pester me.
Okay. Will you be there?
For Diveris.
Maybe.
Okay. Well, you know, sending.
Hopefully.
That's true.
Yes.
I'll be there.
Okay.
Definitely.
How
Maybe.
are you? Oh, that's not short now. Definitely, maybe is not helpful. Okay. Well, I hope you have safe travels with the fake luggage. Are you really taking all of this?
No.
But okay,
It's
which
fake.
one is real? Are there multiple that are real?
I have a question.
Would you like to find out?
I start kind of feeling through them all.
There's not a single real one.
Oh, that is not. How are you going to get there?
Get there?
Yes, the Hobgoblin Pass is blocked.
Magic.
Oh, okay. Teleportation magic.
Yes, but I can't do it in the tree. It's warded against teleportation. So I have
That
to
it is, yes.
go down to the Shady Vale, and then I have to go out from the Shady Vale.
This great veil. I like this veil.
It'll do.
So, I have a question. If somebody gave you a box and then they said, don't look in it, would you look in it?
Oh, definitely!
Okay.
Did you agree to not look in this box?
No.
Okay.
What if you said you
did?
wouldn't?
What if I said I wouldn't?
Yeah.
I would be lying. But they would know me, so they would know I was lying. So, no surprises.
I don't think that's how that works.
Cool.
Although I guess if I gave you a box and I asked you not to look in it, and you said you wouldn't look in it, I would not be surprised if you did look in it, but I think that you wouldn't. So
Give me a
like,
box.
either outcome is equivalently likely.
There's only one way to find out.
I don't have a box to give you.
Is that your problem?
Okay, I need to speak to Katasha, please.
Be my guest.
Thank you. Is the door? Can I walk through the door? She hit the door.
It's a real door.
Okay, thank you. I assume I can walk through. Okay, that was not a joke lie thing. I opened the door.
He taps his nose. A pepper of truth keeps them on their toes. There's your tip.
That's helpful.
Is Katasha in the hall?
Once you actually enter the
Yeah.
nook, there are rooms that are broken off into sections, so she's not in the main section, but you can hear some sort of activity off in one of the distant rooms.
I kind of knock on the inside. Katasha!
Go away, Varys!
I am not Varys.
Oh,
I am Oni.
is that you, Oni?
Yes. Varys said to be his guests to come in, but then I realized he's just leaving, so maybe he did not really have the authority to make that claim.
Come in, come in.
Thank you. I'll head in and wait for her.
Okay.
Yeah.
She currently is there sitting with a servant, and in a chair next to her is an older elf, kind of graying features, just kind of like male,
Right, her husband.
eyes distant and just in kind of a catatonic daze. They're like softly tending to him, brushing his hair and that type of thing.
So,
Did you say
is there
gray?
more you wanted to do with Varys?
What's that?
Yeah.
Did you say gray?
Gray hair.
Because I can wait if you
Not
need
like
to do
that.
more with Varys.
Just one more thing. One more thing, please.
Yes.
In Draconic, I say, are you sure I can't tell Oni because he's trying to save Raglosia and he's a Dragonborn too, and I think he'd really like to know. And he made a lot of progress with Fanetta about the bite. She told him a bunch of things, and he seems like he might know not what to do, but like a little bit more about what to do. I'm not really sure.
Riley, this is all terribly fascinating. But I really am in a rush. You can tell your friend when you come see me in Morden.
Okay.
But I'm trusting you.
Damn it.
Should I trust you?
I mean, I'm gonna look into the box.
Atta girl. Now, don't do anything I wouldn't do.
Deal.
I really thought you were going to say drugs.
That would have been really funny. This is also good. Don't do drugs.
Well, you're in a rush.
I am.
Okay. Bye.
Goodbye, Riley.
Bye, Varys. If that's even your real name.
Goodbye, Riley. Of somewhere to the north.
That wasn't a lie.
No, but it was so vague it might as well be.
Saying draconic. Plug your ears, motherfuckers. Saying draconic. I'm from the city, where things turn to stone during the day and they come alive at night.
Oh. Then maybe you'll be treating me to dinner one day.
Probably. My parents have a lot of money.
Very well. I will see you in the Outlands. Anywhere that's anywhere north of the mountain range.
Oh, that wasn't like cryptic.
Technically, everything is north from where we are right now.
Also, yes.
Precisely.
Right, that's why her thing was completely useless.
Pointless.
Riley,
Huh?
it's been a pleasure.
Yeah. Same.
Small man, what the hell are you? Are you a baby tiefling?
Yes.
Good luck with that.
Truth is that I actually got touched by a god, and just, it's a whole sort of weird fucker.
Oh,
Just gonna offer that information, sure.
Yep.
I think she is a fake god.
Who's gonna believe him?
where exactly did this god touch you? And he's got these long, spidery fingers that come out.
God.
First time here, and then next time we like held hands.
This one has a vivid imagination.
I saw it.
Immensely. Drugs help. So, I take it. This is what my 100 gold bought me.
Keep it.
Oh,
Well, goddamn.
He's
thank
taking
you,
your
sir.
he's taking your 100 gold though.
Yeah.
You've been so liberal with your money lately.
Mm-hmm.
He pulls out another one.
Welcome to Varys' humidor.
Well, it's been a pleasure and a pain and a pleasure. It's been a pleasure sandwich.
Cool. See you in Morden.
I'll see you somewhere in the north. And then he just like walks out parallel to the limb. And as he is about to like go into this fall off, he real quickly casts a spell and just kind of floats down. And as he floats down, you see that his black cape lights up and flashes with his cascade of like veins and ruins and stuff. He just kind of gently flies his way
Your cape will never be that cool.
out of sight.
My cave? I don't have a cave.
Yeah, but you want one now, I bet.
Yeah, I kind of do.
Time to go see boring old Katasha.
All right.
Just kidding. She's
You
not
guys-
boring.
I mean, in comparison.
Only you hear a knock at the outside.
Here's Riley and Felix.
At this point, Sebastian,
Oh, I wanna.
you hear a clanging of like metal on metal as Agar's bandolier is like rattling against himself as he's running to catch up with you.
I yelled back at Preek and Eula where I was going, and I just used the boots of spider climbing, and I just like.
Are we? Is this rude? I don't. What's the protocol?
Oh, Preek.
Oi, Sebastian.
Hi.
Not sure if you wanted company, but I didn't.
I don't mind it.
Okay.
You sure you don't have anything more pressing matters for yourself?
No.
Okay.
Look, my mom is a wonderful woman, and I love her dearly, but there's a lot of history in my family, and it's not the prettiest thing, and I know what it's like to maybe not be as connected. So I'm here for you.
I appreciate it, Agar. You know, the funniest thing is, I don't even know my family. You know, I'm not angry at them. They're strangers. The only thing I've ever heard was the story of the night that my mother left me with my caretaker. I called her my grandmother. She wasn't, obviously. So hopefully I can find out a little bit more, and maybe one day I will actually know more about them. I mean, maybe she's alive. But I do appreciate you being here.
It's my pleasure, mate. Family, feel my scar, does crazy, stupid things sometimes. But we're all fallible. But I gotcha. Let's go.
And we proceed.
Okay. You bend down, knock on the nook of the door, and after a few moments, there's a woman that enters, and she pulls off a hat that she's wearing, and kind of soft elven features, brown eyes, hair that comes down in like very layered fashion. Oh, the Outlanders.
Alafe.
Okay.
Alafe. Dawn Visera at your service. Is there anything I can do for you?
We spoke with Fanetta Fayfoot, and she mentioned that you have knowledge of the people of Vin'Tar that go out on their gatherings. I'm looking for one in particular, or at least a name, if nothing else.
Speaking of names, I'm Agar.
Right, Sebastian.
Pleasure. Believe it or not, I actually know your names.
Oh.
I wouldn't say minor celebrities, but everyone here knows your name.
Cool. I don't know if that's a good thing.
Please, come in, come down. So yes, I do work with the record keeping. It's not my primary occupation. I tend more towards the collector, purveyor, appraiser of artifacts that people bring back from their gathering, and that's my primary focus. But as a hobby, I do keep some historical records of the people that come and go and things of the sort. So, and as you enter, you see a very small-scale field museum-like array of items, like feathers and bones and tomes and like statuettes and clocks and watches and things of the sort.
I'm immediately going to the table and starting to inspect and pick up things and look at them excitedly.
Agar!
Be careful.
Oh, right. Sorry. I just
Look but don't touch.
place it down gingerly. I put my hands behind my back and I just...
He's very excitable.
Sorry about that.
Well, come over here. And she beckons you towards a stool, pulls out a large tome, and starts. What were the initials?
So I reach into my shirt and I take the ring that's on the chain and I sort of pull it off. The initials inscribed on this ring are AV. And I was told that this was the person I'm looking for. Now, I don't know how common those initials are here, but I was also told it was probably about 19 years ago from now.
That helps. That does help. Quite a few people here with V as a surname, but she starts flipping through it. She's like, no, that's too far back. She starts flipping through. You see the pages are getting kind of worn the farther back she goes. It's too recent. Pulls out a magnifying glass. Vilthrana. Elise Vilthrana.
Elise Vilthrana.
This is the person you seek.
Does that name sound familiar to you?
I mean, not really. Is there information about where people might have gone on their gathering, or?
Would you like to talk to her family?
I guess, yes.
Mother and father are still here.
Oh shit.
Right. Where do they live?
Oh, they live on the 8th branch of the south side.
Okay.
Middle nook.
Right.
You okay? You seem caught off guard.
Right. I've been looking for this person a long time, and quite honestly, my searches have not been very fruitful. Pleasantly surprised, I guess, by the information you've given. Dawn, thank you very much. You've done me a great service. If there's anything I can do to repay you, honestly, I would give anything.
I'll keep that in my back pocket.
Okay. Thank you again.
Best of luck on what you're looking for.
Thank you. Agar, do you have any
Agar,
questions
you're
for Dawn,
currently
or can we
inspecting what looks to be like a mosquito fossilized in amber.
You know, I meant to...
No. Please don't eat that.
I wasn't going to
Please don't eat that.
You know, there used to be an old...
It's fossilized in honey.
I see that. There was an old man I used to know. Wearing glasses, big white beard. He tried to get...
Agar, I have something more important to do. Please come with me.
Alright, let's do it.
Thank you, Dawn.
As I walk away, I'm like eyeing everything, just kind of like...
Alafay.
Alafay.
And she goes back to her table and like inspects everything to make sure it's still there.
Got real OCD hoarder vibes from her.
I dodged an arrow.
That's good.
Sebastian, where do you go?
Right,
Let's do it.
I
can back
know.
off.
No, I think you being here is probably better for this
He can
part.
carry you when you faint.
Yeah.
I got you, mate.
Let's see. I'm interested to know how this turns out.
Let's do it.
So I proceed.
Okay. You make your way down the rope ladder. Make your way across to the south side of the tree, 8th branch up. Make your way to the middle nook. And just like all the other nooks, there's a round seam indicating the doorway with a small handle that's been grown out of it, and a small mailbox-like structure that's been grown out of the surrounding wood. And there you are, standing in front of the door.
I'm gonna reach up, put my hand on his shoulder. Family's a difficult thing, but something that I've learned throughout all my journeys is the family that matters most is the one you choose. But that doesn't mean that you can't have family elsewhere.
Right. Thank you, Agar.
And I shove him.
Long pause. And after a while, the nook door creaks open. And you see an older elven woman. And the only real distinguishing features that let you know that she's older is a slight graying to her hair. It's very subtle. But her eyes have kind of cataracts in them, and they're crescent shaped. And there's a little bit of like saggy lines and like crow's feet around the eyes, but it's pretty much just the eyes and the ears. Otherwise, her skin is still fair, still taut, and you see the face of a woman with very kind of round features, deep brown eyes, and she's wearing a headdress that kind of covers her hair. She kind of like pulls it off and shakes out her hair. Ah, the visitors from the Outlands.
Oh, Alafe.
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 I hope we're not interrupting anything important.
No, not at the moment.
If we may take just a few moments of your time, I have a few questions, I guess, about someone who used to live here.
Strange. Very well. Come in. Come in. And she leads you. You guys walk down the steps, and there's about half a dozen floating beads of light that provide illumination in this chamber. It's pretty modest. It's pretty cozy. You see some sort of sketches around. And she's kind of a bed and a couch, and she takes you over to one of the tables. And food, drink, anything I can provide you with?
I'm all right, but Agar, would you care for anything?
Whatever you're willing to offer.
Very well.
Okay.
She brings out a bowl of like nuts, but the nuts look to be shavings of some kind mixed in with it. And she puts out some colored water. It's green.
Oh, Jaeger.
Save some for me.
The bottle.
Oh.
I reach into the bowl next to it with the potpourri and try to eat that. I go, this is weird.
It tastes very good. It's very unexpected. It looks like potpourri, but the taste is quite earthy.
Cool. And drink.
Quite strong alcohol.
This is what I've been waiting for.
Sebastian, as you look around, you can see there are a couple like lutes and fiddles and a couple flutes and stuff, kind of just instruments around the
Why
place.
am I not there?
Again, thank you for welcoming us into your home. My name is Sebastian, and this is my friend Agar. I'm sure you've heard of some of the things, unfortunately, we've been up to. But that's not why I'm here. In fact, the reason I came to Vin'Tar in the first place was that I was looking for someone, or at least looking to find out more about someone who used to be here anyways.
Have you tried talking to Dawn?
Yes.
She's quite knowledgeable.
Right. Actually, we just came from speaking with her, and she actually led us to you. She mentioned you had a daughter who left on a gathering a while ago.
And at this point, her face grows slightly darker, kind of more pensive, a little more withdrawn when you bring this up. This is true. Our daughter, Elise, left about 19 years ago.
Right.
And, she just kind of like stops speaking.
Right. Did Elise happen to mention where she was going? Or what she was going to do?
She looks over at a cabinet in the corner of the room and kind of looks back. I don't mean to be rude, but it's kind of a sore subject.
Right.
Do you know something about our daughter?
That's the thing, is that I don't, but I feel that, and I take the ring out again. I feel I may be connected to her in some way, and I give her the ring. Does this look familiar to you?
She looks to the ring. Her eyes go really narrow for a second and then go really wide. How did you come to possess this? This was a family heirloom we passed down. Right before she left for her gathering, my mother gave it to me and I gave it to her. And now you have it?
Right. I was told that my mother gave it to me before she had to leave me.
She looks down at the ring, looks up at you, looks down at the ring. How old are you?
I should be 18, end of this year.
Where were you born?
Not far from Gorvinthia. As far as I was told, anyways.
And her face goes like ghostly white at that. And then she looks up to you, like making this intense eye contact with you. I think. And then she just kind of like bear hugs you, brings you into her bear hug.
Oh.
And just pulls you in real tight, so like you're cheek to cheek with her. She says, I think we're family. Sebastian? No. Sebastian. She pulls you back and then pulls you back in.
Right.
And she does that a few times. You're my grandson.
I don't.
She looks at your ears. And I'm like,
I kind of cover them with my long hair a little bit more. Kind of extra self-conscious now.
oh dear. And then she like like kind of lets go of you for a second, then goes underneath and pulls out more food and just starts putting food and then pulls out more tankards and stuff. Starts shoving it. Takes the food that's out of your hand, like puts in like shoves everything towards Sebastian. Takes your ale, puts it down over there.
No need to do anything special.
She starts like combing your hair.
A little bit. Chuckles.
Oh, I'm a grandmother. Oh boy! Was that blasted old fool?
Who?
Your grandfather.
Oh. Is he here?
He's in Vin'Tar.
Oh.
He's a, she looks around. He's a musician. He occasionally goes there for months at a time.
Don't say.
Interesting.
Comes back. All the times to leave. Damn it, Gavin! Your grandfather's name is Gavin.
Ah. Right. Well, I think my companions and I actually have some business in Vin'Tar, so perhaps if he's still there, I can track him down.
Well, you can either find him in the taverns, playing his dreaded lute, or you can find him with the clerics.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you mention that her gathering was sort of a sore topic?
When she left, she kept in steady contact with us for about a year, sending us parchments of sending, and we would transcribe them so that we had our own personal record. She would tell us of all the adventures she was having, and she was bragging about her adventures, but the poor darling didn't quite realize how, kind of common they were. But to her, it was fresh and new. It was her first experience outside the Vale. So we kept in contact with her, and we know she spent some time in Govinthia, and then her communications became less frequent. But that's not uncommon, when people go out in their gathering, sometimes you can go months, if not years, without hearing from them. But she stopped sending us. Her parchments became less and less frequent while she was in Govinthia. And then eventually she sent one last parchment. And that was the last we heard from her. Last I heard, she was developing this fascination with Raglothia. You know what? Here. She walks over and pulls out, goes to that cabinet that she had looked over earlier, opens it, pulls out a number of giant envelope of parchment, kind of puts them down. These are from your mother. Perhaps you would like to read them.
I reach out and I take them and I look at her and say, so you don't know where she is or what happened to her?
No, she stopped communicating.
Right.
After that first year or so.
Did she mention me or why she might have left me?
Not in so many terms. She said she had a present for me. but that she couldn't deliver it herself. She said that I would be overjoyed to see it. Who knows? I always assumed it was some sort of knick-knack or something. But I don't know.
Right. I take the letters and I sort of very gently and carefully like pack them away and say, thank you for these letters. They're more than I ever could have dreamed of finding, and to know that I have family in the flesh is just overwhelming. I promise you I will read through these letters and I will find her. I have friends who are very skilled explorers and brave fighters and courageous adventurers. I promise that I will find her and let you know her story.
So does that mean you've never met your father either?
No, I was hoping you might be able to tell me that.
No. Fear she might have been too bashful about her exploits. But you know at least half your family
Right.
is here in Vin'Tar. And you know that no matter where you go and what you do, you can always come back here because you have roots.
And I give her a big hug.
And she just kind of caresses the back of your hair.
I have some
All right,
things-
you can have some, dwarf.
I see them hugging. I'm like, I'm gonna come with
Thank you again, and we have some other important matters to attend to, but I promise I will come visit you before we leave, and I will go to Vin'Tar and find my grandfather.
Is it that important? Could you stick around for a while?
Agar, maybe
We
I
do-
could stay a little
We
longer.
do have some business here for at least 7 more days.
Right.
At least.
Agar, could you tell the others I will meet you guys later?
Sure, absolutely. I get up. Thank you so very much for the food and the drink. It's excellent. Must get the recipe. Or whatever it was, the name. And have a good day. Alafe.
Alafe.
Thanks, buddy.
Take my leave. I hit him on the shoulder. Tap him on the shoulder. No worries, mate.
So, 3 of you
Yes.
are walking in on Katasha,
Yes.
who's currently softly stroking the hair of her husband.
So, Katasha.
Well, quite the company we have here. And she's sitting on a stool. Her back is as straight as a protractor.
She was at the meeting
At
where we
90
were
degrees.
judged, right?
Yes.
Cool. So I don't recall what was your position on us in general, but we were told by Fanetta that we had information that would be extra useful to you specifically, and Olavin told me that you might have incense and herbs that I could use to summon my familiar again, because I really would be very grateful.
How much do you need?
10 gold pieces or...
Yes, but it would be useful for me to have extra just in case. Do you have 40 gold pieces worth?
I do. I don't know if I'm willing to part with all that all at once.
Then will do.
I give you 20.
I give her 20 gold. Thank you.
Katasha! Guess what?
And as you put the 20 gold on her She waves her hands in the limit, and like there's like an armoire, and the doors open, and then a couple shelves open. It's just like they're moving functionally, and then just the stuff, the incense and stuff you got comes down.
Thank you.
She goes, "Thank you, Carl."
Pack it away. Unseen servant. That is good. That is good.
Oh, I thought she was calling the cabinet thing Carl. I was totally confused.
I should also learn that spell. Eventually, perhaps.
Yes, Riley?
So we have news that Venetia said I should tell you, but you might not like it. You might like part of it and not like the other part.
Out with it.
So when we were in the Underdark,
She's wearing a vest with quills that come out of it, and she just kind of like plucks a quill, pulls out a notebook.
Oh, I should get one like that.
Gives
as
you
well.
she has a half moon glasses. She peers down like over the glasses, staring at you with this very tight bun of hair.
I sit up straighter. Speaking of quills and moons. So we went to the Hollow Quill Estate, and they didn't make it. And turns out that they worship Elistray, who sounds pretty cool.
She's writing down, and she looks up to you.
Yes.
They were heretics, but like the good kind.
There are only good heretics. You're the first heretic I met, and then all of them.
That was all good. What?
So this was the second family.
Yes.
No.
No, this was
third
the
family.
third family.
Third family. Holoquill.
And she scratches something down.
But the only reason why we got the information for you was because we had to eliminate them. But when we were doing that, we didn't know that they were like the cool people, and we didn't know who Elistray was, and now they're all dead
Yes.
because of us. Sorry. Oops.
Don't know what to make of this news, but seems that there must be some sedition within their city. The extent of it, however, I guess we'll never know. And you got all of them?
I mean, I hope not, but I think so.
Perhaps they wanted to purge the god.
Purge?
Yes. Well, they had the list of people that explained that Fisk was a part of the Black Spires. And all of you were on there, Katasha, Faneta, a few others. So perhaps they thought because you were also powerful, and if they became the first family, they would be able to maybe, I don't know, do something like this. It is possible, I don't know, it is simply a theory. We also have a map that we are told you would like to look at of the Underdark.
Oh yeah, I left that with Venetia.
Oh yes, Misha. Okay.
We thought you might want to copy it because apparently you are a cartographer.
That is it, yes.
You mean that map over there?
Well, no.
She points to in the corner of her room, and there's that large tome that you brought.
Yeah.
That is the one.
It's quite valuable.
I know.
It's quite dense.
Yeah, I know.
It's quite valuable.
Yeah.
It's quite old.
It is a lot of things.
It's quite useful. So it appears that some information might have been lacking.
It was a complex
Well, it
situation.
wasn't like.
Was there anything else?
Well, wait. I did not tell you on purpose. It was just like, didn't seem that important at the time. Because, like, a shit ton of stuff happened. Like, there was a zombie beholder. I didn't tell you about that. That was really weird. And, the Spider-Man guy and the, like, ceiling. I didn't tell you about that. So I just didn't tell you about a lot of things.
The focus of the conversation was really more about our character, I think. So that makes sense.
And as you guys are talking, the older gentleman, the catatonic dude that's sitting next to her, he starts to kind of make moaning sounds, like oh. And she just begins to soothe him, just patting his thigh and just kind of making physical contact and soothing him.
Are we troubling him?
No, he has bouts.
Did it have to do with the drow?
No.
It was Kaio.
This was research that went too far.
I see. I'm sorry. Okay. What else do we have to tell Katasha? Oh, can you see the history of objects?
She looks, before you say that, she goes to you and just kind of mumbles underneath her breath. Not all twins are good luck, apparently.
Twins! The Grey people.
Fuck, I wish I was there.
From Atoji.
Excuse me?
The Grey Atoji people. Do you not know what I am talking about?
Grey people?
Yes. They were unresponsive in the sense that they could not communicate with us, but they would follow instruction. And if you touch them, you turn grey. They were
She looks to the others.
Chained. They belong to the family Atoji.
How did you meet them?
Baitons. We were on a road.
Baitons.
Yes.
We were on a road and they were in a cart and then we
It was on fire.
got attacked or something.
There was a fight going on between Atoji guards and some thieves of some kind who had a fireball wand.
I think they were trying to take the twins, right?
I don't know, honestly.
What
And
in the hell?
and then we intervened and killed the thieves, which was really just a sad moment. And the Atoji guards we left alive because, well, they were guards, and then they were terrible people. But they had the Grey people inside a burning cart, and then we got them out. And
The Atoji?
yes, they have lots of jewels on their armor.
They were here.
I pull out Alamir's longsword. This was one of their swords, but it belongs to me now.
They don't like us very much.
No, we killed a lot of their people.
Do you know where the twins are now?
We delivered them to the estate of the Atoji, but they had to leave there because,
Heresy.
yes, they tried to usurp the families and become number one. Oh, very similar to Underdark, actually. So they came here, actually, I think.
The Atoji are here.
There's
Yes.
two Atoji here.
I met them.
Are the twins with them?
I don't know, I did
No.
not see them.
Did
But
you see the Atoji?
I did see Atoji guards here, yes. They did not know me because I was in tiefling form.
I thought you knew they were here.
I don't think she knew that the twins and the Atoji were mixed. Yes. Is that right? I think that's right. But yes,
Not make.
we don't know
You
anything
did
about
not
them.
know that.
Yes, they are terrible people.
She just flips her notebook a few pages, starts furiously taking notes about everything you said. I need you to tell everything you know about the twins, the Atoji, anything and everything that happened in the Baitons.
Okay, I remember that one of the guards tried to touch one of the twins, and then they started to turn grey.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Yes.
then they released, and then they went back to normal. So I'm thinking that if you stay long enough, it is permanent. But sadly, they did not let us examine them very much. Although I don't really know that much about that kind of thing.
And they took them back?
Yes, they said walk, and the creatures started walking, and we were following behind them. Then we
What the hell is going on?
made it all the way to the Baitons, and they tried to hide them because they said it was shameful. I don't quite know why they lied about the reason, I think.
The Atoji are in Vin'Tar.
They're in Vin'Tar now.
Oh.
We're actually planning
We
on
have
going
to
to
find them.
Vin'Tar at some
I
point.
think there are these bandits and they broke into the Atoji estate and then they kidnapped the two great people.
That is what they told us, but I think they were lying about that.
Oh.
Yes, they said it was a shame because they were bested by bandits.
Oh, and they were also wearing these magical necklaces and bracelets and they had these like weird sigils on it.
Mm-hmm.
Some
Yes.
weird abjuration stuff.
Yes, that is right, but I don't really know the details of it. It was a little complex.
And then she
for
like
me.
writes it down for a second. Like, did it look like this?
Does it look like that?
Pretty much.
Yes. That is what it looked like.
What does it do?
Prevents one's mind from being probed from a distance. It hides you.
Protection from thoughts.
Protection from
Can you Skype?
magical detection. Sure.
But that,
But not them.
yes,
not
they
while they're
have
wearing those.
non-detection spell.
I
on
get
them.
it.
Inconvenient. But
That explains why I couldn't track them.
But if they are with the Atoji, who you probably met because they are very ostentatious with what they wear, just think of the most ridiculously dressed person other than Felix, and you are probably thinking of the right person. Oh, and also not Diveris. But I guess you already knew that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lots of jewelry.
Oh, and we were pretty sure that they were working with the Rainiers. Remember? Because, like, that really big Delquin Atoji guy was always there.
Oh, maybe. But I
They
don't
were
know if that played a role
blackmailing the
here.
Rainier.
Well, he was always at the casino.
Yes, but he
Yeah, he
might
just,
just be an... yes. He might just be an addict like Felix.
Oh.
Yeah, he was a big gambler, real cocky.
Oh,
Just
yeah,
like you.
But yeah, I put him in his place, if you know what I mean.
Yes. So that is all we really know, I think,
I have
about
to-
them.
I have to talk to the council. I don't know how we're going to divide our forces.
We are being so useful to the people of Vin'Tar. I feel good.
We have to find the twins. We have to
Find the poison in the tree.
find the poison.
Why didn't... I don't understand. What happened? Why are you even connected with the Atoji?
Oh, because
We're
she thinks
in-
this happened to... The twins happened to... I'm sorry, I don't know his name.
Belsarin.
To Belserin.
My husband, Belsarin.
I'm very
Right, but
sorry
like,
about that.
what happened? Maybe if you tell us, we can tell you more if it rings a bell.
Tell you the broad strokes.
Okay.
Okay.
The twins came into our possession. And so we started to study them.
I think I know this already.
And as we studied them, as we established a mental connection, we just became overwhelmed. It was like a flood of voices, a wall of voices hit you all at once. And so we pulled back. But Belsarin he wanted to keep going. And so we would periodically dive back into the minds of the twins. And we would get this wall of voice. And eventually the voices started to become coherent. They started to make sense.
What language were they speaking?
All of them. None of them.
Okay.
And we started to pick out small phrases. We start to go deeper and deeper. And Belsarin never came back.
What was they saying?
It's a long story, Riley.
How did you have the twins? Like, how did you even know they were, like, special?
Another long story, Riley.
I love stories.
This is highly sensitive information.
To the people of Vin'Tar.
To the world.
perhaps.
Okay, then we should treat it with caution,
The fewer people that know, the better.
typically, but then the knowledge is lost if something happens. And Fanetta is concerned that something will happen if you have to separate from the tree.
Right. Well, we're not quite sure who's going where. Either Finetta, myself, or possibly Venetia.
Would you mind if I asked Fanetta up here? I have a possible alternative idea I'd like to present to both of you.
Simultaneously.
Very well, you can summon Finetta.
I'll shoot sending over to Fanetta.
Okay.
Would you mind joining us in Katasha's nook? I have a bit of an idea that might help Vin'Tar. Vin'Tar.
Should we have Agar and Sebastian join us? Well,
Yeah, don't matter, but
I'm on my way to you guys anyway, but
That's
it's gonna
true.
be a while.
I suppose we could.
There's
fill
a
them in
there's
later.
a curious pause in your mind, and eventually you hear Finetta's voice, and she's like, "Very well, Felix, but I'm intrigued."
I did not like the Otoji. I was right not to like them.
She still wanted to give them their money back.
I didn't. I
At
didn't
this
know
point,
how I could.
Katasha just drills you guys with questions about the twins, about the Banes, everything, until she's interrupted by a knock at the door, and Katasha comes strolling in.
You mean Fanetta?
Finetta.
Sorry, Finetta comes strolling into Katasha's.
Katasha duplicated herself. Okay, hello Fanetta, welcome back.
She takes a seat on a stool. A couple
I
beads
will-
of light float around you all in a circle.
Like this place.
Felix,
I will stand up in front of both of them.
the stage is yours for two of the most powerful people in Vin'Tar.
Mm-hmm. That's the reason why I wanted to speak to both of you. And this is gonna sound crazy and ridiculous, but do me a favor and hear me out to the end of it.
In Infernal, I say to Felix, what exactly are you planning, my friend? They are good people.
In Infernal, I will reply, I plan to do my job.
Okay,
The fuck does that mean?
he is a bump first
I'm
and
a vamp.
foremost.
Oh, true.
Get
it, boy!
You, earlier when we spoke with Vanetta, you mentioned that you were very worried about removing forces that might defend Vin'Tar, removing high-level spellcasters that might better defend the tree against invaders. And now we've been discussing things here and with Katasha, and she also has feared about resources being spread thin with the more advanced with those more advanced in the magics. I realize that this bridge is already fairly ablaze, and it would be ridiculous for me to even offer it, but the Emerald Isles is known for its works in magic. It is known to have quite powerful spellcrafters. It could prove to be helpful. I realize that the Emerald Isles certainly are not in the best favor with the council at the moment due to very poor representation. I have, yes, I've done my best to make amends of that, but regardless of my actions or even the actions of the other mistake that happened, the reality is that they could help, and they gain nothing by ever hurting you. I believe that if they were given the opportunity, they may even offer a helping hand just to establish a relationship. I don't know, but I wanted you two to be able to discuss the idea of possibly even allowing the Isles to help in a situation as dire as this.
Give me a persuasion check.
Okay. Alright, I'll take that. 26.
26.
So that's the second 26 of the night.
On a persuasion check.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I rolled an 8.
Yeah.
They're there.
Oh, true.
Felix, that is a tangled web of Medusa's hairs that you weave.
Yeah, it's kind of my signature at this point.
That is a nightmare concept.
Yeah. It's complicated.
Snakes.
Undoubtedly, having the help of an outside spellcaster would allow us to not spread ourselves thin here. However, it would require opening ourselves up to the outside, which is something we're not entirely comfortable with. There's a reason that
There are demons here.
the tree is where it is.
What?
We fear the poisoning touch of Outlanders, and I think with good cause.
I agree. I understand it would be a very large stretch. I understand that it would not be something anyone would probably be comfortable with. But I know what you're risking if you send someone down there. I know how dangerous the Underdark can be. I've seen. I personally don't know if they are going to attack you when you are spread thin, but their power is terrifying. And I will happily defend if I can, but I would feel much more confident with an ally at my back.
We killed
Even if it
Mr.
wasn't
Ross'
the
family.
Isles. I mean, they are the most powerful spellcasters I'm aware of.
Katasha and Finetta make this prolonged eye contact with one another. Having known each other for decades and decades, you can just feel that they kind of are reading each other's thoughts, and then they turn back to you. Finetta says to you, we will take your offer to the council for consideration. And then Katasha steps in to finish the sentence and is like, but it is an offer the council will be hesitant to take.
I figured. I honestly didn't even expect you to really consider it that much, but I just wanted it out there because I think that they could be helpful and would probably happily do so.
Well,
They are elves.
guess it depends on how desperate we get.
I would actually also like to add to that. I can't make this as a promise, obviously, but I can ask the master who taught me magic has a personal stake against demons, and I know there are demons below there. So I can send him a message. Master Rip O'Malley, he is a very good gnome, and I could send him a message. Perhaps he would be willing to help. He does not like demons and aims to try and destroy them. So he may be willing to join whoever goes to find the poisoned roots.
Right. I mean, you may not even need to leave. What if, I mean, you could send somebody from the Isles down into the Underdark to take care of it for you.
And who would risk their lives for charity?
I don't know. I mean, I guess I'd have to talk to, actually, I don't know who I'd talk to about that.
It would not be charity. It is to establish. What is it that you do? You establish relationships, trading
alliances.
relationships.
Yeah, trades, goods and services, that sort of thing. I don't really know what the Isles would really want out of here, but that's for them to decide. I'm just here to find a reason why
Tourism.
two people should talk to each other, and I think that I found a reason why Vin'Tar might want to talk to the Isles.
My master is powerful, but alone against all the demons, I'm not so sure. And I can't even be sure that he will join.
Like I said, we'll take it into consideration. We have the compass. I don't think we're going in anytime soon, because this is a big decision. A risky decision.
We're going to go to Vin'Tar most likely. Within the next, I don't know, 10 days or so.
2 weeks.
Yes. So we can perhaps search for the Atoji there. I know Agar would be very happy to kill more Atoji if it comes to it. Or at least
Don't
hurt them.
particularly care what happens to the Itoji. We need the twins back.
Okay. Well, I can't make that promise obviously, but we can go there. I have another sending parchment too. And well, I have to use one for my master, but I'll have one so I can, and they know sending, so we can always communicate with you.
I'll speak to the council of this. The twins are quite high up on our priority list, but again, our attention is being pulled in many different directions at the moment.
It is unfortunate.
At some point, we gotta deal with those damn hobgoblins.
Well, we'll still have to go north, so we may have to deal with them. And
Sounds like you need some allies.
also, if you have an object that allows someone to use a scrying spell, since we know the Atoji and I saw the Atoji that were here, I may be able to tell you where they are.
I know their name. Garrett.
We might need more than a name.
I met them when we were preparing for concrescence. I know the Atoji that were here, so they are probably as well in Vin'Tar. And I can provide some information now, if you have object like this.
We do not have the object itself, but we might be able to
Work around that.
if we enchanted something, the time it would take, we could walk to Vin'Tar.
A one-time use, perhaps that would be faster, I'm not sure. I understand, you have a lot to consider, I apologize.
Yes. I will discuss this with the council. We'll discuss all these things with the council.
Yes.
But things just got a lot more complicated.
Yes, they did.
And she kind of makes intense eye contact with the three of you. Goes down to scribble in her notebook. Looks up again. She begins to ponder everything that she learned. Some of the answers to her questions, some of the new questions that arose. She takes her quill, kind of puts it in her mouth. Takes her book. That's what we're gonna call it for tonight.
Dope.